Chapter 1419 The Guilty Party Files. The Suit 3. Seeing that Yu was in danger, Elder Su immediately withdrew himself and caught both girls in each hand to dodge the lightning strikes. No one expected this abrupt change of events. Yi Qingtang, who originally prepared to fight to death, was surprised as well. In the next second, a few figures suddenly descended from the sky and landed right before Elder Su and the rest. They were a few middle-aged men with overbearing demeanors. The leader of the group had white hair and stood with his hands behind his back. His sharp gaze completely ignored Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord and shot right at Elder Su. Ancient Yu clan, what is the meaning of this? Elder Su frowned slightly as he looked at the people who suddenly appeared to kill them. These people were members of the Ancient Yu clan, and that elderly in the lead was an elder of Ancient Yu clan. Both the domain monarchs Jiang family and Ancient Yu clan were top forces of the central mainland and had never interfered with each other. However, the Ancient Yu clan suddenly attacked them today, which displeased Elder Su immensely. What is the meaning of this? The Ancient Yu clan should be the one asking the Jiang family that, the Ancient Yu clan elder said coldly. Ask us. Elder Su was perplexed. The Jiang family has always minded our own business and coexisted peacefully with the Ancient Yu clan for thousands of years. There has been no exception. Stop acting innocent. A middle-aged man from the Ancient Yu clan berated loudly. Do you all think that we don't know what your Jiang family did in the first mainland? So much for proclaiming to be noble and virtuous when you all are so vicious in the dark. How shameless! When the Ancient Yu clan headed to the first mainland to collect the spiritual abode, the Jiang family had already implied that they would not interfere. Yet, the Ancient Yu clan never expected to encounter the hindrance from a high-ranking member of the Jiang family in the first mainland, and the Ancient Yu clan did not forget this score. What are you all saying? Why do I not understand? Elder Zu's brows were furrowed slightly. They went to the first mainland for a short while and returned. When had they ever been in conflict with the Ancient Yu clan? Stop acting innocent in front of us. No matter what you say today, the Ancient Yu clan will not believe it. Since the Jiang family broke the rules, don't blame the Ancient Yu clan for being merciless. The Ancient Yu clan elder said coldly. Elder Su had a grim expression. No matter how he thought about it, he could not understand when they opposed the Ancient Yu clan. Elder Su, I think that this Ancient Yu clan is clearly finding an excuse to eliminate our Jiang family. Yi Sun whispered with a frown. Elder Zu's expression changed subtly. The skills of the Ancient Yu clan and Jiang family were almost on par before, but if they were to really fight, the Jiang family would definitely win by a margin. But after the Ancient Yu clan brought the spiritual abode back from the first mainland, their skills increased massively, and their forces expanded rapidly over this period of time as well. Aren't you all afraid to declare war with the Jiang family? Elder Su said coldly. Declare war? If there really was a declaration of war, it will be the Jiang family who declares it. The Ancient Yu clan people snickered. The instant they finished their sentence, the Ancient Yu clan elder immediately led his men and sprinted towards Elder Su. Elder Zu's expression froze, and he attacked immediately. However, he had to take into account Yu's safety as well and thus was on high alert constantly. Chapter 1420 Who exactly are you? One in just the blink of an eye, the Ancient Yu clan people and Elder Su were in a tussle. In contrast, Beidou Demon Lord and Yi Qingtang, who were almost slaughtered by Elder Su, were forgotten by everyone. Little sister, what's going on? Beidou Demon Lord was fueled with energy after preparing to fight with his life. But why were the Jiang family and Ancient Yu clan fighting out of the blue? Although Beidou Demon Lord was part of the Demon clan, he had heard of these two top forces before as well. It was rumored that these two forces were not on friendly terms but coexisted peacefully. But were they suddenly fighting? Maybe the Jiang family just has many enemies. A smile plastered on Yi Qingtang's face gradually. The Ancient Yu clan's arrival was really timely. Back in the first mainland, Yi Qingtang disguised herself as someone from the Jiang family only on the spur of the moment. But looking at it now, the effect was pretty good. She reckoned that the Ancient Yu clan had vehement hatred toward the Jiang family and would make sure justice was served. While the Jiang family was completely hidden in the dark. Go ahead and attack. It's best if they attack them till they die. Then Beta Demon Lord was a little dumbfounded. What are you still standing there for? When can we leave if not now? Yi Qingtang grabbed Beta Demon Lord's finger and fled swiftly. Elder Zu's skills were rather amazing. Although the ancient Yu clan side won in numbers, Elder Su might have some Dharma treasures on him, and it may be effortless for him to withdraw himself from the battle to kill her and Beta Demon Lord. While Yi Qingtang wanted to see if Yi Yu and Yi Sun would be killed along by the ancient Yu clan, she did not join in the fun in order to save her life. Yi Qingtang fled swiftly while carrying the little white tiger in one arm and pulling Beta Demon Lord with the other hand. Yi Yu and the rest, who were encircled by the ancient Yu clan, noticed that Yi Qingtang escaped, and their expressions darkened immediately. Sister Yi Qingtang escaped. Yi Sun exclaimed. But before she could finish speaking, a person from the ancient Yu clan struck them with a scarlet blast of wind from his palm. With a slight frown, Yi Yu pulled Yi Sun back and attacked the person. It was not the time to care about Yi Qingtang's escape right now. As long as Yi Qingtang was in the central mainland, using the Jiang family's powers, finding her was child's play. Although these people from the ancient Yu clan were pretty skilled, that elder was recently nominated, and his skills were not yet as profound as Elder Zu's. Elder Su had to care about Yi Yu's safety and naturally did not dare to hassle with them. He immediately used a talisman, grabbed Yi Yu and Yi Sun, and disappeared right before the ancient Yu clan people's eyes. The three people reappeared in the wild miles away. Sorry to trouble you, Elder Su, Yi Yu said with cupped fists. It's fine. I just don't know why the ancient Yu clan went berserk to attack us. Elder Su just could not understand it as they did not get into any conflict with the ancient Yu clan when they were in the first mainland. The ancient Yu clan is ambitious. They have obtained the spiritual abode, and am afraid that they have the intention of replacing the Jiang family to be the next domain MO. If they really have that ambition, wouldn't they use anything as an excuse? You said. Elder Su frowned slightly. That Yi Qingtang really got lucky. Had the ancient Yu clan not appeared suddenly, she would definitely die here. I just don't know how this evil woman would harm Sister Yu again in the future, Yi Sun said while looking at Yi Yu worryingly. Chapter 1421 Who exactly are you two? Yi Yu is a lady of the Jiang family. Who dares to harm her? Elder Su said coldly. You are right, Elder Su. Yi Sun nodded with extreme obedience. Elder Su handed 2 talismans to Yi Yu and Yi Sun. Ancient Yu clan probably will not be able to reach us. Use this talisman to return to the Jiang family first. As for that Yi Qing, I will get rid of her. I will meet with you back at the Jiang family. Delight flashed across the eyes of Yi Yu and Yi Sun after hearing what Elder Su said. Elder Su, there's no need to exhaust yourself. I will ignore her at most. Yi Yu brushed away the delight on her face silently and acted as though she put the interests of the whole before everything else. She's just a little brat. Killing her won't take much effort. Yi Yu, you must remember that you are the domain monarch's granddaughter now. No one can let you suffer from injustice. Elder Su looked at Yi Yu affectionately. The domain monarch was of old age now. He had great accomplishments in his early years and was now at the age to dote on his children and grandchildren. As such, he specially sent people to the first mainland to bring back his lost granddaughter. Although Yi Yu was born in the first mainland, she was very obedient and sensible. Moreover, she was rather gifted and received a lot of affection from the domain monarch. They'll have to trouble you then, Elder Su. Yi Yu bowed gracefully. After a slight nod, Elder Su flew out immediately. As Yi Yu watched Elder Su leave, the warmth in her eyes dissipated instantly, and it was replaced with iciness. Rest assured, Sister Yu. With Elder Su around, Yi Qingtang will not be able to fly even if she has wings, Yi Sun said. On the other side, Yi Qingtang sprinted furiously with the little white tiger and Beta Demon Lord. If not for her fear that she would be too large of a target if she flew in the sky, she would have escaped by flight. But even so, they were still caught up. Where do you all wish to escape to? Elder Zu's figure suddenly appeared in their way. He caught up so quickly? When Yi Qingtang saw Elder Su, She could not help but despise the weak support of those people from the ancient Yu clan for only stalling so little time. Do you all still wish to live after offending the Jiang family? Hand the bone of the dragon breath over obediently, and I will give you 2 fast deaths. Impatience filled Elder Zu's face. There was something extremely strange about the ancient Yu clan incident, and he needed to report to the Jiang family quickly. He had no time to waste with these 2 people. We can't escape anymore. Little sister, you, Beidou Demon Lord wanted Yi Qingtang to leave first, but Yi Qingtang cut him and said, since we can't escape anymore, let's fight it out with him. Without waiting for Beidou Demon Lord to decline, Yi Qingtang leaped up and dashed forward with her sword. Whether she fled or not, the outcome was still death. She might as well give it her all. Perhaps she might be able to make it out alive. Seeing that Yi Qingtang had already made an attack, Beidou Demon Lord pounded the ground furiously. With a roar, his huge frame jumped up and lunged at Elder Su. You all are overconfident. Elder Su had a cold expression. His eyes swept across Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord, and a scarlet glow diffused around him gradually. Without moving his body, that red light suddenly spread explosively and sent the incoming Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord flying away. The skills of a heavenly venerate were not restricted in this central mainland. Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord landed on the ground and spat a mouthful of blood. Let's begin with you first. Elder Zu's cold gaze landed on Beidou Demon Lord. It was a look of despise from the Domain Monarch's clan toward the alien clan. Chapter 1422. Who exactly are you 3? In the next second, Elder Su flew to the sky, and a piercing scarlet glow shot out from his palm, which struck toward Beidou Demon Lord's heart. Yi Qingtang was astonished, and she took out the Mirror of Illusions at once. Right before the scarlet glow was going to touch him, the Mirror of Illusions that Yi Qingtang took out flew to Beidou Demon Lord's heart and received the blow. In an instant, that murderous scarlet glow turned into crimson butterflies, which flapped their wings and dispersed. Mirror of Illusions. You do have some stuff, but it's a pity that you can only use it once in a short period of time. A murderous expression emerged on Elder Zu's face. A huge scarlet glow behind him expanded suddenly like a red sun that hung in the sky. Anyone who offends the Jiang family must die. The cold voice was like a funeral bell. In the next second that it rang, a huge scarlet glow shot at Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord. Careful! Beidou Demon Lord flipped over and protected Yi Qingtang beneath him the moment he saw that supreme force crashing toward them. Boom! That ball of scarlet glow hit Beidou Demon Lord's back directly and caused a huge wound on his large back. His originally glistening fur was completely burnt, and his flesh was ripped apart by the scarlet glow. Beidou Demon Lord spouted a mouthful of blood, which splattered all over Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang widened her eyes as she looked at Beidou Demon Lord's large frame that loomed over her and his contorted expression as a result of the pain. The sight before her overlapped with the scene from her previous life. Brother! A shout exploded from Yi Qingtang's chest, and black flames covered her body instantly. She rushed out of Beidou Demon Lord's protection quickly, and the black flames around her body crashed into the next blow of scarlet glow that struck at Beidou Demon Lord's back. The heavenly venerate skills were not what she could resist as an arcane supremacy 8th heaven. In the next instant, blood shot out of the ears of Yi Qingtang, who forcefully bore the attack. All her energy was depleted, and blood dripped from the corner of her lips. The little white tiger who was set aside by Yi Qingtang was alarmed by the sight. I'm going to fight it out with you. In just a moment's time, the little white tiger's body enlarged out of a sudden as a white flame shot out from its mouth and hit straight at Elder Su. Fiend celestial beast? A look of surprise flashed across Elder Zu's eyes when he saw the white tiger, which enlarged dozens of times. However, he turned calm very quickly and raised his hand to crush the flame that the white tiger shot out. The white tiger spouted flames continuously in an attempt to stop Elder Su. You're just an infant. How can you harm me? With the wave of a hand, a scarlet glow flowed out of his palm and crushed the white tiger on the ground. Under the overbearing force, the white tiger was pressed on the ground and unable to move. You're not bad though. Once I kill them, I will bring you back to the Jiang family and give you to Yiyu. Fuck. The white tiger could not move and wished it could bite this bastard to death. Yi Qingtang's powers have already reached the limit. Looking at the white tiger who was pressed on the ground, she spat out a mouthful of blood, and the black flames around her body disappeared rapidly. However, right before the black flames disappeared utterly, the heavenly demon devouring bloodline that had been dormant in her body seemed to have felt a familiar energy and erupted out of her. Misunderstanding 1 inch just an instant, it enveloped Yi Qingtang completely while Elder Zu's scarlet glow was instantly devoured by the powers of the heavenly demon devouring bloodline. This is... Elder Su was astonished when he saw the energy that enveloped Yi Qingtang, and he retracted all his powers hurriedly in the next second. The moment Elder Su retracted his powers, Yi Qingtang was thrown off and crashed to the ground. Her entire body felt crushed as an excruciating pain spread throughout her body. Elder Zu's eyes were filled with surprise as he looked at Yi Qingtang, who laid on the ground panting. He suddenly landed on the ground, flew to Yi Qingtang's side, and reached his hand out toward Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang's brows were locked together as she lifted her sword shakily, wanting to continue the desperate fight. Elder Su saw that Yi Qingtang still wanted to attack and hurriedly stop in his tracks. The murderous expression on his face completely turned into worry and nervousness. I will not touch you. Your injuries are too serious. Do not be rash. There was immense nervousness in his tone. Yi Qingtang's head buzzed. Despite the sudden change in Elder Zu's attitude, she did not let her guard down at all. Elder Su noticed that Yi Qingtang was guarded against him and immediately retreated. He took out a few bottles of supreme-grade elixirs from his space ring and tossed it to Yi Qingtang. Your injuries are too serious. Hurry, consume these elixirs to calm your body down. Didn't you want to kill me? Yi Qingtang frowned at Elder Su, who had a strange attitude. Elder Zu's brows furrowed slightly, seeming to be very worried about Yi Qingtang's injuries. I'm not killing you anymore. Little girl, this is all a misunderstanding. The heavenly demon bloodline that appeared on your body is unique to the Jiang family. Who exactly are you? Why do you have the heavenly demon bloodline? Who are your parents? The current Elder Su had lost all his prior coolness in killing her, and his eyes were filled with worry like a compassionate elderly. Just a while ago, he discovered that this girl actually possessed the heavenly demon bloodline. In this entire world, apart from the heavenly demon, only members of the Jiang family had this bloodline. This girl must be a descendant of the Jiang family that was stranded outside. From whom of the Jiang family did this girl inherit the bloodline was the question. Yi Qingtang was slightly dumbfounded when she heard what Elder Su said. She was too nervous just now and forgot about this. The heavenly demon bloodline in her was from that lady at the exit of the inheritance of the divine phoenix. That lady originally wanted to seize Yi Qingtang's inheritance of the divine phoenix but had her heavenly demon bloodline seized by Yi Qingtang instead. However, Elder Su did not know all of this. All he knew was that anyone with the heavenly demon bloodline was definitely a descendant of the Jiang family, and moreover, this girl's heavenly demon bloodline was the rare variant, the heavenly demon devouring bloodline. It had been thousands of years since a heavenly demon bloodline variant appeared in the Jiang family. Thousands of years ago, the Jiang family once produced a talent who possessed the heavenly demon devouring bloodline. He was extremely gifted and exceeded almost everyone. In a short span of time, he dashed out of the first domain and burst into the second domain. It was rumored that he eventually entered the third domain and even the legendary fourth domain, or perhaps even became an immortal. If that talent was still present, how would the Jiang family be the top force of only the central mainland? Chapter 1424 Misunderstanding 2 Even trampling over the second domain and dominating the third domain were probably imminent. Elder Su never would have thought that the little girl whom he almost killed actually possessed the rare heavenly demon devouring bloodline. Looking at the worried Elder Su, Yi Qingtang sighed secretly and used her brain immediately. The Jiang family cared most about their bloodlines and descendants. Otherwise, they would not have gone the distance to the first mainland to bring Yiyu back. She was also mistaken as an abandoned descendant of the Jiang family. A thought struck Yi Qingtang immediately, but she kept a cautious expression. Isn't Yi Yu the clearest about who I am? Yi Yu? Elder Su frowned slightly. He knew that Yi Yu disliked Yi Qingtang strongly, which was why he went after her life, but he did not ask her about the reason. After all, to him, anyone other than the members of the Jiang family could be killed freely. In the first mainland, Yi Yu and I were from the same family clan. Although I was adopted by my father, I also grew up in the Yi family with Yi Yu. I did not think that Yi Yu hated me so much that she would still be thinking of killing me now that we are in the central mainland. Yi Qingtang put on a dejected look and snickered. Since you're from Yi Yu's side, just kill me if you want. Why you still asking me so much? I'm an orphan anyway. If not for my foster father, I would not have lived till now. Yi Qingtang said with a decisive expression, but what she said was sufficiently misleading. First, she pointed out the grudge between her and Yi Yu, and second, she stated that her parentage was a mystery as she was adopted by the Yi family. Thus, she did not know who her parents were. Yet, Elder Su was regretful to hear what she said. Child, you're not an orphan. You're a child of the Jiang family, and the heavenly demon bloodline in you is the best evidence. Elder Su was filled with sympathy and regret as he looked at the battered Yi Qingtang. If not for that young ape's protection earlier on, he would have almost killed this Jiang family descendant and extinguished their hope of regaining a talent that possessed the variant of the heavenly demon bloodline. I'm a child of the Jiang family? Yi Qingtang had a look of disbelief. Of course, apart from the Jiang family, who else would possess the heavenly demon bloodline? Elder Su said compassionately. Why wouldn't there be? Didn't she seize one? Yi Qingtang giggled on the inside but put on a conflicted expression. Don't lie to me. I know that you are with Yi Yu. Elder Su sighed softly. Why would I lie to you? Given my skills, killing you is child's play. Don't worry. I have verified your identity now and definitely will not do anything to harm you. Quickly consume these elixirs, and I will bring you back to the Jiang family. Once you are back in the Jiang family, no one in the central mainland can harm you anymore. What you said is all real. You really will not kill me? Even though Yi Qingtang was having trouble stifling her laughter, she continued to put on an insecure expression, which resembled that of a little bunny. Yi Qingtang, who had exceptional looks to begin with, was now injured and pale. On top of that, this expression made her appear even more pitiful, and Elder Su felt extremely sorry. Why did he attack so harshly just now? Look how scared this child is now. Elder Su tried his best to put on a kind look and said gently, It's all true. It was only then that Yi Qingtang consumed those elixirs doubtfully. The Jiang family was indeed the domain monarch. All of these elixirs were supreme grade, and any one of them could probably be sold at an exorbitant price. Chapter 1425 Misunderstanding 3 They were given for free anyways, and she might as well consume them. Thus, Yi Qingtang swiftly gulped down a few bottles. Elder Su heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that Yi Qingtang finally consumed the medicine. My sworn brother. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly as she looked at Beidou Demon Lord, who was hit unconscious. Elder Su immediately took out some elixirs and medicines. Thank God for this little fellow from the ape clan this time. Otherwise, if he realized that he accidentally killed a Jiang family child who possessed the heavenly demon bloodline variant, he would never forgive himself his whole life. Elder Su was more favorable of Beidou Demon Lord now and fed him some elixirs, treating his injuries. The Jiang family's elixirs were extremely powerful, and Beidou Demon Lord's complexion returned to normal in no time. He woke up drowsily and suddenly saw Elder Su right before him. Startled, he hurriedly guarded in front of Yi Qingtang, seeming as though he was protecting a calf. Little brother from the ape clan, Yi Qingtang is a child of the Jiang family. Everything just now was a misunderstanding. On the account that Beidou Demon Lord saved Yi Qingtang's life, Elder Su spoke to him with rare patience. Misunderstanding? You clearly wanted to kill her just now. The straightforward Beidou Demon Lord did not believe Elder Su at all. Elder Su had a slight headache as well. Had he not experienced it for himself, He would not believe that the person he wanted to kill a second ago would become his own clan member in the next second either. It is child's play to kill both of you with my skills. Why would I fabricate such a lie? You humans are the most cunning. Who knows if you schemed anything else? Beta Demon Lord was more astute now. Elder Su responded in a low voice. The Jiang family is the Domain Monarch's clan. Why would we scheme against you too? The heavenly demon bloodline in this girl is evidence that she is a descendant of the Jiang family. Beta Demon Lord was slightly taken aback. He did hear of the Jiang family's heavenly demon bloodline before but did not think that. Little sister, do you really have the heavenly demon bloodline? Beta Demon Lord looked at Yi Qingtang doubtfully. Yi Qingtang nodded. Beta Demon Lord's eyes popped wide. It should be so if she really had the heavenly demon bloodline. Girl, your sworn brother's injuries will heal after some rest. I will bring you back to the Jiang family first. That is where your house is. The Domain Monarch will be elated to see you. Elder Su looked at Yi Qingtang so compassionately that the past cold and murderous expression was completely absent. I can follow you back to the Jiang family, but my sworn brother must come with me. He was injured in order to save me. Yi Qingtang was very insistent on this. Although she was misidentified by the Jiang family, Beta Demon Lord did not have any relations with the Jiang family. Given Yi Yu's character, she would probably trouble him in the future. All right. Elder Su nodded slightly in admiration of Yi Qingtang's loyalty. When facing her as an enemy, she was simply an eyesore, but after knowing that she belonged to the Jiang family, she was nothing but a pleasant child. After discussions, Yi Qingtang and Beta Demon Lord followed Elder Su to the Jiang family. At this instant, Yi Qingtang was extremely looking forward to Yi Yu's reaction after seeing her. The Domain Monarch's Jiang clan was renowned in the central mainland. Yi Yu and Yi Sun returned earlier and were currently in the hall of the Jiang residence. In the hall, a middle-aged man was looking at them with slightly furrowed brows. Chapter 1426 Domain Monarch Jiang Family 1. That middle-aged man was Jiang Lu, the son of the current Domain Monarch. In terms of seniority, he was considered Yi Yu's uncle. Other than Jiang Lu, there were other elderlies in the hall. They had serious expressions as they listened to Yi Yu narrate their encounter with the Ancient Yu clan outside Burnt City. After Ancient Yu clan obtained the spiritual abode, their powers increased rapidly, and now, they actually dare to provoke the dignity of the Jiang family, an elderly said coldly. We still have to wait for the family master to come out from seclusion to make a decision on this matter. Send people to watch the Ancient Yu clan first, said Jiang Lu. You were startled today, but luckily you're safe. Instead, why did Elder Su not return with you too? Yi Yu naturally would not say that she asked Elder Su to settle the matter with Yi Qingtang because of her personal grudge, and so she subsequently explained. Elder Su said that he still has some things on. Thus, he wanted Sun and me to return first. Jiang Lu did not think too much about it and nodded slightly. At this instant, the servants of the Jiang family suddenly reported that Elder Su had returned. Elder Su has returned, but he also brought 2 people with him. One of them looks like he's from the Ape clan, and the other is an ordinary lady. Yi Yu had a perplexed expression when she heard the servants' reports. Why did Elder Su bring them back? Yi Sun was a little surprised. She originally thought that Elder Su would kill Yi Qingtang and Beta Demon Lord directly, but why did he bring them back? Do you all know them? Jiang Liu's gaze shifted to Yi Yu and Yi Sun. Sister Yu went to Burnt City today, and a bone of the dragon breath finally caught her eyes, but it was eventually snatched away by that lady and the ape. Yi Sun replied. Sun. Yi Yu interrupted Yi Sun immediately, and there seemed to be a look of disapproval in her eyes. This is a small matter, and I still had to trouble Elder Su. It is already very difficult for me to return to the Jiang family. I don't wish to trouble others because of my matters. Yi Yu looked at Jiang Lu apologetically like an obedient child. Yi Sun noticed Yi Yu's behavior and immediately embellished the story. Sister Yu, Elder Su was scared that you suffered an injustice. Forget it if someone else snatched the bone of the dragon breath, but that Yi Qingtang has been opposing you since we were in the first mainland. You finally returned to your birth family and came to the central mainland, but she still chased after you to cause you troubles. Who can tolerate this? Jiang Lu frowned. His father had always felt like he owed you, an abandoned talent, a lot. Thus, he was extremely dissatisfied when he heard that someone dared to bully you. It's also good that he brought them back. It would have been too easy on them if they were killed directly. Rest assured, since you have returned to the Jiang family, no one can let you suffer any injustice. Perhaps Elder Su wants you to seek revenge personally. Jiang Lu patted Yiyu's shoulder and looked at her with a kind smile. Yiyu pursed her lips and nodded lightly. Uncle, you and grandfather are so nice to me. You are a child of the Jiang family. Of course you are fit to receive this good treatment, Jiang family said with a smile. The senior members of the Jiang family nodded in satisfaction at the sight. They had a good feeling about Yiyu and felt that she was a good child. Let's go. I will accompany you to seek your revenge, Jiang Lu said with a smile. Yiyu nodded as she looked down slightly to hide the snicker in her eyes. Chapter 1427 Domain Monarch Jiang Family 2 Jiang Lu led Yiyu and Yi Sun out of the hall and passed through the luxurious courtyard. Very quickly, Elder Su came into sight. Behind Elder Su was a huge ape that was badly battered and appeared very weak, while a stunning girl with a slender frame was beside him. That girl had a pale complexion, and her clothes were stained with a lot of blood. Elder Su wanted to tell them something. Jiang Lu turned around to look at Yiyu and said, "Is it her?" Seeing the miserable-looking Yi Qingting, Yiyu was pleased but had an obedient expression. "Yes, uncle." Jiang Lu nodded slightly and stepped forward subsequently. Elder Su. Elder Su could not stop himself from smiling when he saw Jiang Lu. "You're here just in time. I have something to tell you." This girl, Jiang Lu sized up Yi Qingtang and chuckled. "We have troubled you today, Elder Su. It is thoughtful of you to bring the people who offended you back for her to deal with them. Leave the rest to me." Jiang Lu said and wanted to seize Yi Qingtang. Elder Su was taken aback. Beidou Demon Lord, who had been doubtful throughout the journey, heard what Jiang Lu said, and his expression changed immediately. He protected Yi Qingtang hurriedly. "Great. You humans are indeed despicable. You all clearly deceived my little sister here to torture her to death." "No," Elder Su attempted to explain instantly. But at this instant, Jiang Lu appeared to Yi Qingtang's front in a flash and held her shoulder forcefully. "Look clearly. I will break the neck of this person who offended you right now," Jiang Lu said with a smile. Yiyu's lips curled up into a smile as she looked at Yi Qingtang arrogantly. The only thing to blame was that Yi Qingtang did not know what was good for her. How dare she appear before her? But just when Jiang Lu was about to twist Yi Qingtang's neck, Elder Su suddenly attacked and forced Jiang Lu to retreat, saving Yi Qingtang. "Elder Su, what are you doing?" Jiang Lu did not expect Elder Su to suddenly attack and frowned immediately. Elder Su was about to speak, but Yi Qingtang held onto her own neck and looked at Elder Su with indignation. "You indeed lied to me. You said that I'm part of the Jiang family because you wanted to deceive me into coming to the Jiang residence to kill me in front of Yiyu." "Part of the Jiang family? Yi Qingtang, you really think too highly of yourself. Who are you to dare to cling to the Jiang family?" Yi Sun looked at the miserable Yi Qingtang and said sarcastically, "What are you? A bastard born from a piece of garbage. The likes of you to cling to the Jiang family." "Shut up." Elder Su growled suddenly. Yi Sun shuddered from Elder Zu's growl. Elder Su glared at Yi Sun. If Yi Sun was not a person who Yiyu kept by her side, everything she said earlier was sufficient for him to crush her to death. Elder Su, Yi Sun trembled slightly, and she hid behind Yiyu out of instinct. She did not know what thing she said was wrong enough to infuriate Elder Su. Elder Su could not be bothered with Yi Sun, an outsider. If Yiyu did not bring her along, how would Yi Sun have the qualifications to enter the door of their Jiang family? "Don't be afraid, girl. I'm here. Jiang Lu scared you because he does not know the situation. Don't worry. Everything will be fine once I explain the situation to him." Elder Su turned around to look at Yi Qingtang and comforted her gently. His tone was exactly like that of a compassionate senior, and it was utterly different from his imposing manner toward Yi Sun. Chapter 1428 Domain Monarch Jiang Family 3, Elder Su, what's going on? Jiang Lu frowned deeply. Why was Elder Su being so kind to this girl who offended Yi Yu? Yi was surprised as well. She originally thought that Yi Qingtang would be killed by Elder Su, but now, not only did Elder Su not plan to kill Yi Qingtang, but he was coaxing her with such a gentle voice? Jiang Lu, this incident is a coincidence. Do you know who this girl is? Elder Su said. Jiang Lu said impatiently, isn't she just a bitch who offended you? A look of impatience immediately emerged on Elder Zu's face as his expression darkened. What bitch? She is a member of the Jiang family. Everyone at the scene was taken aback by what Elder Su said. Yi Yu even widened her eyes in disbelief as she scanned Yi Qingtang suspiciously. Yi Qingtang is a member of the Jiang family? How could it be? Elder Su, are you pulling a joke? She is part of the Jiang family? How could this be? Jiang Lu said nonchalantly. Elder Su replied. How will I joke about such a matter? This girl has the heavenly demon bloodline. If she is not a member of the Jiang family, who else can she be? There was a subtle change in Jiang Liu's expression. Elder Su was an upright person who shielded his people and attached extremely high importance to the Jiang family bloodline. It was impossible for him to joke about the Jiang family bloodline. Are you speaking the truth? Jiang Lu was still rather suspicious. Elder Su shot Jiang Lu a dissatisfied look and subsequently turned to look at Yi Qingtang with a kind smile. Come here, little girl. With me around, no one can harm you. Let him see your heavenly demon bloodline. Yi Qingtang seemed to resist Jiang Lu strongly. Although she did go forward, she remained glued to Elder Su. Elder Su felt very sorry for Yi Qingtang when he saw her thin and small frame and her pale face. It was unknown to all that the pitiful-looking Yi Qingtang was bursting out with laughter on the inside right now. Don't they see how dark Yi Yu's expression is? Jiang Lu placed his hand on Yi Qingtang's wrist, and the heavenly demon bloodline in his body stirred restlessly. In no time, he sensed the resonance from Yi Qingtang's body. It was a resonance caused by the same heavenly demon bloodline, and only the Jiang family possessed it. Astonishment was written all over Jiang Liu's face immediately as he looked up at Yi Qingtang in surprise and delight. Elder Su, she really is, Elder Su said right after, feel it more carefully. Jiang Lu felt it again, and he clearly discovered that the heavenly demon bloodline in Yi Qingtang's body was actually purer and much more powerful than his. Extreme surprise filled Jiang Liu's eyes. The heavenly demon bloodline in this girl was actually the heavenly demon devouring bloodline variant. You should be clear of who she is now, right? Look how fierce and aggressive you were just now. If you really killed this girl, your father would skin you alive. Elder Su scoffed. Jiang Lu felt frightened and fearful instantly. Fortunately, Elder Su stopped him in time just now. Otherwise, he would have made a huge mistake. Sorry, little girl. It was a misunderstanding. Aren't startled, are you? Jiang Liu's expression changed completely as he looked at her worryingly. Seeing how Jiang Liu's attitude changed so swiftly, Yi Qingtang was hysterical with laughter on the inside but kept an emotionless expression on her face. Chapter 1429 Sisterhood 1. This child suffered quite a shock today. Arrange a place for her to stay first. We will inform the domain monarch about this once he is out of seclusion, Elder Su said considerately. Jiang Lu nodded and immediately ordered people to arrange rooms for Yi Qingtang and Beidou Demon Lord. The other members of the Jiang family were shocked by the abrupt surprise, but they naturally welcomed her since she carried the Jiang family bloodline. Only Yi Yu and Yi Sun had extremely dark expressions. They would have not thought that Yi Qingtang was a member of the Jiang family. Sister Yu, why did Yi Qingtang become part of the Jiang family? Is there anything odd in this? Perhaps she is an imposter? Yi Sun had a struggling expression as her abhorrence for Yi Qingtang was deep in the bones. Ever since she followed Yi Yu to the Jiang family, Yi Sun had gained benefits, and her identity was different from others. All the more did she have no respect for Yi Qingtang. However, this sudden change affected Yi Sun greatly. Yi Yu inhaled deeply and tried to maintain her facial expression so as to not let anyone notice her oddity. How can one easily impose as a member of the Jiang family? Do you think that the domain monarch's Jiang clan is so easy to deceive? Yi Yu said with a hushed voice. The Jiang family's unique heavenly demon bloodline was not replicable. Otherwise, many others would use the opportunity to cling onto the powerful force of the Jiang family. Some people once used all sorts of methods to replicate the heavenly demon bloodline. However, the resonance between the bloodlines could not be imitated, and those imposters were caught by the sharp eyes of the Jiang family. None of those exposed imposters survived. Now that even Jiang Lu was certain that Yi Qingtang was a member of the Jiang family, that heavenly demon bloodline must be real. But how can I bear to see Yi Qingtang crawling into the Jiang family just like this? Yi Sun complained while repressing her emotions. Do you think I like it too? Yi Yu glared at Yi Sun coldly. She would never understand why Yi Qingtang had such good luck. Yi Sun opened her mouth but did not dare to anger the current Yi Yu. At that instant, Jiang Lu and Elder Su brought Yi Qingtang to Yi Yu and Yi Sun. Yi Sun immediately lowered her head. In front of others, she was someone related to the Jiang family, but in front of the Jiang family, she was merely an outsider. She had already incurred the dissatisfaction of Elder Su after insulting Yi Qingtang earlier on. You, there may have been some misunderstandings between you and Tang Tang. However, both of you are part of the Jiang family now. It is quite a coincidence. I heard that both of you were sisters in the same family clan in the First Mainland. Is that right? Jiang Lu asked with a smile. As Yi Yu looked at Yi Qingtang, who was behind Jiang Lu, she clenched her fists that were hidden in her sleeves but put on a flawless act of obedience. Yes. Tang Tang and I were indeed from the same family clan. I did not think that we would be so fated either. We did have some misunderstandings before, but since we are sisters of the same clan, of course I am delighted, Yi Yu said with a smile as she clenched her fists to restrain herself from ripping Yi Qingtang apart. Yi Qingtang laughed scornfully on the inside at the sight of Yi Yu's feigned gentleness. Delighted? Yi Yu's acting skills improved. She probably would have wanted to lunge at her and rip me apart, wouldn't she? Chapter 1430 Sisterhood 2. I know that you are sensible. Both of you will be in the Jiang family from now on and should prioritize the honor of the Jiang family. As for whatever that happened before, just treat it as though it never happened before. Jiang Lu was very satisfied with Yi Yu's reply. They were both the children of the Jiang family, and burying the hatchet was the best. Subsequently, Jiang Lu looked at Yi Qingtang and said, Tang Tang, don't take whatever that happened in the past to heart as well. Yi Qingtang scoffed in her heart but put on an obedient front that was even more accurate than Yi Yu's. There are no grudges between sisters. They were just trivial bickering and fights. Yi Yu gritted her teeth. All right. Both of you are sensible children. Jiang Lu was filled with joy. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang's residence was arranged, and Jiang Lu sent Yi Qingtang and Beta Demon Lord to rest first. You, Tang Tang, and you were from the same clan previously. Have you heard about how Tang Tang was adopted? Jiang Lu looked at Yi Yu and asked. Yi Qingtang's identity was verified, but it was still uncertain who her parents were. If they could find out where her bloodline was from, they could also find out whether her parents were still alive. Yi Yu simply did not wish to talk about Yi Qingtang, but she had no choice but to reply gently now. I'm not very clear as well. I only heard that Tang Tang was adopted by the Yi family's family master, but I don't know the details. Jiang Lu nodded lightly without asking much. It was easy for them to investigate as long as they knew that Yi Qingtang was found in the First Mainland. Jiang Lu and Elder Su were occupied with finding out about Yi Qingtang's parents. On the other hand, Yi Yu, who held her fury in for a long time, finally slammed the slab top in the courtyard after leaving everyone's line of sight. Yi Qingtang, you're seriously everywhere. Sister Yu, Yi Qingtang has entered the Jiang family now. She definitely did not forget about what happened in the past. That bitch will seek revenge and think of ways to oppose you for sure. If she is allowed in the Jiang family just like that, she will stir up many troubles. Yi-sun looked at Yu slyly. So what if she's in the Jiang family? Yu narrowed her eyes slightly. She would definitely get rid of Yi Qingtang. Subsequently, she turned to look at Yi-sun. Is Aunt Qin going to be back soon? Yi-sun was slightly dumbfounded. The Aunt Qi whom Yu referred to was Jiang Qin, the daughter of the domain monarch and the twin of Yu's mother. The twins shared a strong relationship, and Jiang Qin was extremely brokenhearted over the death of Yu's mother. The search for Yu in the first mainland was personally planned by Jiang Qin, and after Yu returned to the Jiang family, Jiang Qin cared for Yu like she was her own flesh and did not allow anyone to mistreat Yu. Aunt Qin should be back today. Yi-sun roughly guessed Yu's plans. A sneer formed on Yu's face as she left. In the evening, Jiang Qin and her husband returned. Jiang Qin was already very old, but she took great care of her appearance and looked 26 years old at most. Aloof and arrogant, she was extremely gifted and doted on by the domain monarch while her husband was a renowned powerful figure in the central mainland. Is the ancient Yu clan courting death? They almost spoiled my plans this time. Jiang Qin frowned immediately when she returned to the Jiang residence. Chapter 1431 Sisterhood 3 The tall man behind Jiang Qin was her husband, Tuoba Yao. His thick brows were furrowed slightly, and his aura was frighteningly strong. Forget it. It's all right as long as the matter is settled. Take care of your body. Don't be angry. Tuoba Yao comforted. Jiang Qin took a look at her husband without saying anything before she glanced across the hall. Where's Yu? Why didn't she come to welcome me home today? Jiang Qin seemed to be blaming Yu, but there was no hint of dissatisfaction in her tone. Yi-sun, who had been waiting in the hall as ordered by Yu, heard Jiang Qin's question and replied immediately. Sister Yu is a little unwell today, so she is still resting. She told me to wait here and immediately inform her once you are back. Instead, I am overjoyed by your return and almost forgot about it. Jiang Qin frowned immediately again, and a look of worry appeared on her face. Yu is unwell? Is it because she ate spoiled food? Hurry, bring me to her. Jiang Qin and Tuoba Yao had been married for more than years but did not have any children. Her twin sister's child finally returned, and thus, she naturally doted on Yu like she would to her own child. A smile flashed by Yu's eyes, but she concealed it. She immediately led Jiang Qin and Tuoba Yao to Yu's residence at this instant. Yu had a pale complexion and was laying on the couch. Jiang Qin's sudden entrance into her room saw an immediate look of surprise on Yu's face. Aunt Qin? You're back so early? Then, she shot Yi-sun a look of blame. Sun, why are you so insensible? I told you to inform me once Aunt Qin returns. Why did you? Jiang Qin's heart ached at the sight of Yu's pale face, and she immediately walked up to hold Yu's icy hands. Yu, what happened? Were you feeling unwell? Yu opened her mouth, but there was only a bitter smile. Aunt Qin, I'm all right. I just had a cold from last night. Tuoba, request physician Long to come and take a look at you. Quick, Jiang Qin said immediately. Yu hurriedly responded. Aunt Qin, I'm all right. There's no need to trouble physician Long. How can that be? Jiang Qin was very stubborn. Yi-sun saw that the timing was about right and mumbled with feigned carelessness. Sister Yu, how is this a cold? You were clearly bullied. Sun. Yu berated. However, Jiang Qin caught the key in what Yi-sun said. Sun, what do you mean by this? Who dares to bully my Yu? Aunt Qin, there's no such thing. Don't listen to Sun. Yu acted as though she was unwilling to complicate matters. Yet Yi-sun said with righteous indignation, Sister Yu, you are kind, but I cannot bear it anymore. Then Yi-sun told Jiang Qin. Aunt Qin, you're unaware that Elder Su brought a person back today. That person always made things difficult for Sister Yu and set her up when we were in the first mainland previously. Jiang Qin's expression darkened immediately. Who is that person? She made you so miserable. Just kill her. But Elder Su said that that person is a child of the Jiang family, and there's no way to touch her. You are not here today. That person is called Yi Qingtang. After Elder Su brought her back today, she relied on the fact that she was a child of the Jiang family and acted haughtily around Sister Yu. Sister Yu tolerated her once and again and is thus sick from holding in her anger. Yi Sun embellished the story and made it as though Yi Yu suffered a great injustice. Chapter 1432 Parents 1, Aunt Qin, I'm alright. Since she is a child of the Jiang family, I can bear anything for the Jiang family. Yi Yu behaved as though she made a compromise for the general interest. It hurt Jiang Qin to see that Yi Yu looking like that. What Yi Qingtang? So what if she is a child of the Jiang family? I want to see who dares to let you suffer injustice with me around. Jiang Qin's expression was extremely dark. Her sister only left behind a child, and that was Yi Yu. How could she let Yi Yu suffer even the tiniest bit? You rest well. I am here, Jiang Qin said while patting Yi Yu's hand. Yi Yu frowned slightly. Aunt Qin, I don't wish to give you more trouble because of my personal matters. My mother died early, and I did not receive much motherly love. However, I am already very content with your care. Jiang Qin felt even more miserable at the mention of Yi Yu's mother. Don't worry about these anymore. Rest well. Yi Yu nodded obediently as she looked down to hide the snicker in her eyes. Yi Qingtang, even if you enter the Jiang family, you are still unable to defeat me. Sooner or later, I will make you disappear from this world completely. The Jiang residence was extremely spacious and was even larger than the royal palace. Jiang Lu was rather attentive to Yi Qingtang, the lost talent, and the room he prepared for her was so large that the huge Beidou demon lord could roll around and jump about. However, Yi Qingtang did not care much about that. The heavenly demon bloodline had been in her body for a long time, but she could not master it completely. Meanwhile, the Jiang family was the most familiar with the heavenly demon bloodline, and Yi Qingtang could obtain more cultivation techniques suited for the heavenly demon bloodline. There was truly a heap load of benefits. Yi Qingtang just reached her room, and Elder Su and Jiang Lu ordered people to deliver generous amounts of elixirs and money. Tang Tang, you can rest here first. Once the domain monarch is out of seclusion, he will personally take a look at the condition of your bloodline and then decide on the suitable cultivation techniques, Elder Su said with a smile. He thought that Yi Qingtang, who had been wandering outside, must not have learned the orthodox heavenly demon cultivation techniques. If she merely possessed an ordinary heavenly demon bloodline, he could bring her to the martial pavilion to select some foundational cultivation techniques to practice like Yi Yu back then. However, Yi Qingtang had the rare heavenly demon devouring bloodline, and they could not make a decision for the moment. Thank you, Elder Su. Elder Su smiled. Just familiarize yourself with the Jiang family slowly. We will carefully investigate to find out your biological parents. If they are still alive, perhaps we can let your family unite. The first mainland was sealed away back then, and they could not enter. Only a few special people entered there by coincidence. It should not be a tough investigation. Yi Qingtang nodded, reckoning that the parents whom Elder Su find out eventually would probably the parents of that lady in green. However, that lady in green escaped after her bloodline was stolen, and it was unknown if she was devoured by little Yu Yun along with other living beings in the first mainland. Once Elder Su left, Yi Qingtang sat down to regulate her breathing. Everything that happened today was beyond her expectations. She took out the voice transmission stone instinctively, hesitated for a moment, and did not turn it on. Ling Yan most likely plotted all of this when he told her to head to Burnt City, so that she could enter the Jiang family using the heavenly demon bloodline. I really owe you another one. Chapter 1433 Parents 2 After sunset, Yi Qingtang ate some things and regained her energy. She went to look for Beidou Demon Lord but found that he was already snoring away on the ground. Once she walked to the courtyard and wanted to return to her room, a figure suddenly appeared before her. It was an aloof lady who exuded an overbearing demeanor. Her long eyes narrowed slightly and swept across Yi Qingtang sharply. Yi Yu slowly walked out from behind that lady. When Yi Qingtang saw Yi Yu, she immediately realized something. You? Is she Yi Qingtang? Jiang Qin cast a look of disdain at Yi Qingtang and subsequently turned to look at Yi Yu affectionately. Yes, Aunt Qin. Yi Yu nodded obediently, though there was a trace of a sneer hidden in the depth of her eyes. Jiang Qin had always been a tough and straightforward person, and she had an extremely high position in the Jiang family. So what if Yi Qingtang was a child of the Jiang family? If she upset Jiang Qin, she naturally would not receive good treatment. Jiang Qin nodded lightly and then looked at Yi Qingtang coldly. Come here. Yi Qingtang looked at the unfriendly Yi Yu and Jiang Qin and stepped forward slowly. Jiang Qin looked at Yi Qingtang indifferently and said, You are back in the Jiang family now. I don't care how ill-disciplined you are outside, but in the Jiang family, you must follow the Jiang family's rules. Yu is older than you and is your sister, but you were disrespectful to her and contradicted her. I want you to kneel down and kowtow to apologize to you. Jiang Qin had a haughty manner and did not have any respect for Yi Qingtang. Looking at the assertive Jiang Qin, a trace of a smile emerged in Yi Yu's eyes as she looked at Yi Qingtang provocatively while standing behind Jiang Qin. Yi Qingtang did not move an inch as though she did not hear Jiang Qin's orders. I want you to kneel down. Don't you hear me? What an ill-disciplined, wild girl. Jiang Qin narrowed her eyes, and a powerful repressive force spread out from her. Under the force, Yi Qingtang had difficulty breathing. Jiang Qin's skills were actually above heavenly venerate fifth heaven. In no time, Yi Qingtang broke out in a cold sweat, but her legs remained standing stably without bending at all. You want me to kneel to her? On what basis? Yi Qingtang snickered while forcefully resisting the force. I want you to kneel, so you must kneel. Jiang Qin sneered as her repressive force strengthened suddenly. Yi Qingtang turned pale immediately. At this very instant, she clearly realized that even though her skills increased rapidly, it was still insufficient in the central mainland, where highly skilled people were everywhere. She must become more powerful as quickly as possible. Yi Yu looked at the pale Yi Qingtang proudly with viciousness filled in her eyes. Since you are unwilling to kneel, I will break your legs. Let me see if you are going to kneel or not. Jiang Qin snickered coldly as a light shot out from her palm and straight at Yi Qingtang's knees. However, at this moment, a red beam suddenly appeared and blocked Jiang Qin's attack. The next second the red beam appeared, Elder Su landed behind Yi Qingtang and supported her collapsing body. Jiang Qin, what are you doing? Jiang Lu, who came over together, looked at Jiang Qin with a flabbergasted expression. Chapter 1434 Parents 3. I want to teach this wild girl the rules of our Jiang family. Jiang Qin was not the least remorseful and still had an extremely haughty look. Even when she was talking to her own older brother, Jiang Lu, she did not curb her arrogance. What wild girl? Tang Tang is a child of our Jiang family, Jiang Lu said, displeased. Jiang Qin scoffed without paying any regard to Jiang Lu. I don't care whether she is part of the Jiang family or not. Anyone who bullies you must be punished. Third brother, my sister died early. If I don't help her to protect you, wouldn't you be bullied by others? I don't intend to make things difficult for this Yi Qingtang either. As long as she kneels down and kowtows as an apology to you, I will treat this incident as over. Jiang Lu frowned slightly and immediately looked at Yi Yu, who was behind Jiang Qin. You, didn't you say that everything that happened before was over? Yi Yu had an innocent expression and appeared as though she suffered an injustice. Jiang Qin immediately protected Yi Yu behind her and said, This has nothing to do with you. You are such a biased uncle. You don't know who the parents of this wild girl are, but you're already helping her to bully you? Since you are unwilling to interfere, I will. Who says that we don't know who Tang Tang's parents are? Elder Su said coldly after helping Yi Qingtang regulate her breathing. We have already found out who Tang Tang's parents are just now. Everyone at the scene was taken aback by what Elder Su said. Even Yi Qingtang was a little dumbfounded. Elder Su is too speedy, isn't he? He already found out who my parents are so quickly? Jiang Qin had a nonchalant expression, however. Which division are they from? Elder Su said in a deep voice. What division? She is the child of your second brother and sister-in-law. What? Jiang Qin was in a slight daze. Even Yi Qingtang was stunned as well. Jiang Qin's second brother? Isn't that the domain monarch's second son? Yi Qingtang had heard some rumors about the Jiang family in her previous life. In the Jiang family, the domain monarch was the most skilled, but the person whom the central mainland feared the most was the domain monarch's second son, Jiang Lang. Jiang Lang was very gifted and was thought highly of by the domain monarch since young. He was nurtured carefully and was originally intended to be brought up as a candidate for the next domain monarch. Yet, Jiang Lang was extremely malicious such that murder and doing evil were all considered child's play. He had killed many people, and even he himself might not be able to keep up with the number of murders he committed. Meanwhile, the wife whom he married was all the more notorious. Before she was even of age, she burned thousands of people in a blazing flame just so she could admire their contorted expressions. The couple left the Jiang family a long time ago and paid no regard to the domain monarch's dissatisfaction and reproach. Even if people of the Jiang family made them unhappy, they also killed them simply. Blood ties were simply a joke to Jiang Lang. In this world, there was nothing dared not to do and no one he dared not kill. Once, a person from a certain influential group merely looked at Jiang Lang a little longer, and Jiang Lang annihilated the entire group. In a night, he flooded the city with blood, and not a single person was spared. Even Yi Qingtang was frantic to hear the name Jiang Lang. But never would she have thought that Elder Su actually said that the malicious and vicious couple was actually her parents. Was Elder Su really not lying? Jiang Qin's expression was a little dark now. Did you check correctly? Of course. I have already sent people to inform your second brother and sister-in-law, and they may be back after some time, Elder Su said but did not dare to be too certain. After all, Jiang Lang and his wife had never bothered about blood ties, and it was uncertain whether they would care about their biological daughter. Jiang Qin squinted her eyes while Yi Yu's expression stiffened as well. She had returned to the Jiang family for some time already and naturally heard of the rumors regarding Jiang Lang and his wife. Just the countless misdoings that the pair committed were enough for one's blood to run cold. Yi Qingtang is Jiang Lang's daughter? How could this be? Yi was very unwilling to believe that this was true, but since Elder Su said so, it was more or less real. Chapter 1435 Slander 1 Yi Yu's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang unconsciously. Yi Qingtang did not have any facial expressions, but she was rather shocked on the inside. According to the information that Ling Yan provided, that lady in green had not been in the Jiang family since young. The Jiang family only knew that the heavenly demon bloodline in her body would mutate into the heavenly demon devouring bloodline when she was of age. However, they were unsure of her location. Rather, it was Ling Yan who found out that the lady went to the second domain. Although the Jiang family had been looking into the lattice location, it was to no avail partly due to the fact that the lady went to the second domain. The heavenly demon devouring bloodline in Yi Qingtang belonged to that lady originally. Jiang Qin fixed her expression and said subsequently, "So what if she is the child of my second brother and sister-in-law? Since she made a mistake, she must be punished. She bullied you once and again. Should she be let off just because she is my second brother's child?" Elder Su and Jiang Lu knew that Yi Yu was extremely protective of Yi Yu, and with Jiang Qin's strong personality, this matter probably would not end so easily. Whatever conflicts that Yu and Tang Tang have might as well be settled this time. If there is nothing serious, then let bygones be bygones. Jiang Lu immediately mediated. Jiang Qin scoffed and looked at Yi Yu, signaling Yi Yu to recount her unjust treatment. But what could Yi Yu say at this point? There's nothing much actually. Those things happened in the past, and I've long forgotten about it. Shall we forget it, Aunt Qin? Tang Tang is a member of the Jiang family, and I don't wish to talk about the past incidents, Yi Yu said very obediently, but there was a hint of grievance as though she gave up on her own grudge for the bigger picture. Those who were unaware of the truth would think that Yi Yu suffered a huge injustice. Elders Su and Jiang Lu admired Yi Yu's generous response greatly. Of course, Yi Qingtang knew what Yi Yu's intentions were. Yiyu played the nice guy already while she somehow shouldered baseless accusations. Sister, you must really feel aggrieved, Yi Qingtang said suddenly. Compared to Yiyu's compromise, Yi Qingtang's sarcastic statement caused Elder Su and the rest to frown slightly. Yi Qingtang, you has backed down already, but you are still so insensible. If not for Yu's persuasion, I definitely would not let you off so easily. Jiang Qin scoffed coldly. Tang, you are at fault this time. Jiang Lu was a little dissatisfied at Yi Qingtang's unwillingness to forgive Yiyu. Looking at the people who were deceived by Yiyu, Yi Qingtang laughed and said, I did not know that there's such a thing in this world. Yiyu was clearly the one who dug my spirit root, but it seemed like I bullied her from what she said. Yi Qingtang's words surprised everyone. What did you say? You snatched your spirit root? Elder Su looked at Yi Qingtang in astonishment. Even Jiang Lu was a little dumbfounded. Yiyu's face froze suddenly. She did not think that Yi Qingtang would suddenly mention this incident. Yet Jiang Qin had a face of disbelief. Yi Qingtang, don't slander you just because she has a nice personality. How will you snatch your spirit root? Slander? My spirit root is in her body right now. There is a resonance between the spirit root and its original owner. If you don't believe me, you are free to check it, Yi Qingtang said coldly. Chapter 1436 Slander 2 When a spirit root left its original owner, a resonance could still be detected using a special method if they met. The reason why Yiyu wanted to kill Yi Qingtang by all possible means was to completely erase this black history of hers. As long as Yi Qingtang died, no one would know what she once did. Although the spirit root was not as important in the central mainland, it was ultimately one of the foundations for cultivation. If Yi Qingtang was not part of the Jiang family, the Jiang family would not have any opinions even if Yiyu dug her spirit root away and may instead feel that she deserved to do it. However, things were different if Yi Qingtang was a member of the Jiang family. Hearing the certainty in Yi Qingtang's words, Jiang Qin could not help but frown slightly and look at Yiyu. Frantic arose within Yiyu. No one other than she herself was clearer of what would happen. It would all be revealed once they tested it. Ever since Yiyu came to the Jiang family, she had been putting on a gentle and obedient front, but the current matter. Yiyu went through all her options and knew that the outcome was the same no matter whether they tested it or not. Her eyes suddenly welled up with tears as she looked at Yi Qingtang with an aggrieved expression. Tang, I know you have never forgotten about the spirit root incident. I am very guilty as well. Yiyu's statement verified Yi Qingtang's earlier accusation. Jiang Lu and Elder Su were astonished. Previously, they thought that Yi Qingtang and Yiyu were this way because of some conflicts and did not expect that their grudge actually began from snatching a spirit root. What was even more unexpected was that the seemingly gentle and weak Yiyu really snatched Yi Qingtang's spirit root. Yiyu said subsequently, back then when grandfather dug your spirit root away and gave it to me, I did not even know that the spirit root was yours. If I knew it was yours, I definitely will not want it. Yiyu knew that she was unable to hide from this matter and thus pushed all the blame to the Yi family's great elder. Elder Su and the rest were less agitated when they heard Yiyu saying that it was the actions of the Yi family's great elder. Tang, if you hate me because of this matter, I will return this spirit root to you in hopes that we can get along well in the future. Yiyu seemed to have made a firm decision as she suddenly unsheathed a dagger and stabbed at her abdomen, wanting to dig out the spirit root to return to Yi Qingtang. Alarmed by Yiyu's actions, Jiang Qin hurriedly locked her wrist and took the dagger away. What are you doing, you? It's just a spirit root. What's the big deal? So be it if it's stolen. Why must you harm your body over this incident again? Jiang Qin was hurt to see Yiyu like this, and she subsequently looked at Yi Qingtang with hatred. Yi Qingtang, you kept going against you just because of a spirit root? It's just a spirit root. What's the big deal? Don't use Yu's guilt towards you to act brashly. Yi Qingtang was tickled by Jiang Qin's bandit logic. When Yiyu stole her spirit root, was opening her abdomen not considered harm? Yiyu had not even harmed herself now, but Jiang Qin was already this indignant. Having someone's backing was indeed different. Yi Qingtang looked at Jiang Qin and said, I'm afraid you're wrong. She is the one who always targeted me and not the other way round. I was not the one who looked for her today, but Yiyu led you to trouble me, right? Who exactly is the one who can't let go of this matter? Chapter 1437 Slander 3. I already said that I insisted on looking for you today. It has nothing to do with you, Jiang Qin said impatiently. Like hell she believed that. Yi Qingtang knew Yiyu's schemes. Tang Tang, I know that you are resentful. I always wanted to return this spirit root to you. Yiyu leaned in Jiang Qin's arms with tearful eyes, which compelled tender affection. Yet Yi Qingtang was not moved at all. Since you are so guilty, it's hard for me to decline. You can return the spirit root to me today then. Yi was dumbfounded by what Yi Qingtang said. She really did not expect Yi Qingtang to be so straightforward and crude. Yi Qingtang, you're really evil. You actually want you to destroy her spirit root. Jiang Qin shouted furiously. Yi Qingtang smiled in response. What do you mean by that? Am I not doing this for her good? Yi said she has been extremely remorseful over the spirit root incident and always wanted to find an opportunity to return the spirit root to me. I saw that she is so guilty, so I might as well go along with her wishes. She won't need to be guilty once she returns the spirit root, won't she? Since Yi wanted to play innocent so much, let her act all she wants then. Yiyu's expression changed subtly. She originally thought that Yi Qingtang would let this matter go because of the Jiang family's opinions, yet unexpectedly, Yi Qingtang really wanted her to return the spirit root? Yiyu appeared guilty and sincerely wanted to return the spirit root, but in her heart, there was not the slightest intention to return it. She had long treated this spirit root as her own. Yi Qingtang looked at the mum Yiyu and said, Why? You actually don't wish to return it? Since you don't, just say it then. It's not, Yiyu shook her head tearfully. Yi Qingtang, that's enough. Jiang Qin suddenly interrupted Yi Qingtang, cornering. You is a child of the Jiang family and not someone who you can do whatever you want to. Surely she is a child of the Jiang family? Yi Qingtang scoffed. Yiyu truly wanted to kill her, and Jiang Qin, who was so protective of Yiyu, probably wanted to kill her as well under Yiyu's bewitchment. Even if Yi Qingtang spoke nicely this time, Jiang Qin would not change her attitude toward her and would oppress her even more instead. Since they were already in a confrontation, Yi Qingtang might as well just have a complete fallout. Humph. Jiang Qin's eyes swept across Yi Qingtang without bothering to haggle with her. If Elder Su and Jiang Lu were not present, Jiang Qin would have taken Yi Qingtang's life immediately. Jiang Qin was unwilling for Yiyu to be harmed any further and immediately led her away. Yiyu's tear-stained face made her look extremely aggrieved. Yi Qingtang was about to vomit when she saw that expression. After Jiang Qin and Yiyu left, Jiang Lu had a rather complicated expression. Tang Tang, you indeed suffered grievance over this matter. However, since both of you are back in the Jiang family, let bygones be bygones then. Don't destroy the sisterhood between you two. Jiang Lu persuaded. Regardless of Yi Qingtang or Yiyu, both were part of the Jiang family. Yiyu indeed should receive some punishment for stealing the spirit root, but it seemed impossible with Jiang Qin's protection. As long as she does not cause trouble for me, I will not look for her. Yi Qingtang replied. Although she had entered the Jiang family, she was very clear that Yiyu had Jiang Qin behind her. While Elder Su and Jiang Lu seemed to be standing on her side, they were mostly acting in the interest of the harmony of the Jiang family and definitely would not deal with Yiyu for her. Yi Qingtang still lacked someone's backing in the Jiang family. Chapter 1438 Intolerable Bullying 1. Yiyu was the daughter of Jiang Qin's twin sister. Thus, Jiang Qin treated her as her own daughter. If Yi Qingtang wanted to find a backing, her notorious parents had to return to the Jiang family and attach importance to their daughter, which was her. Otherwise, she would still lose out to Yiyu. Elder Su and Jiang Lu gave Yi Qingtang a few instructions and took their leave. Yi Qingtang returned to her room to rest as well. She was more pressed to cultivate after realizing her gap with Jiang Qin and began to cultivate immediately without resting. Only by consolidating her current cultivation realm quickly would she be able to safely enter the world of constellations in the illusory void once again. Yi Qingtang was still cultivating the next morning when she heard a deafening knocking sound on her door, along with Beidou Demon Lord's voice. "Little sister, are you awake?" Yi Qingtang stopped her cultivation when she heard Beidou Demon Lord's voice. When she opened the door, she saw a beaming Beidou Demon Lord carrying a pile of fruit. "The Jiang family sent me quite a lot of food just now. I saw that these fruits are not bad. Let's eat them together." After sharing his frozen banana with her, Beidou Demon Lord was very willing to share any good items with his new sworn sister. Looking at Beidou Demon Lord's huge frame, Yi Qingtang's whole night of fatigue seemed to disappear completely in a moment. A human and an ape sat outside the courtyard and began digging in. The Jiang family had an extremely high status in the central mainland, and all of the fruits that they gave Beidou Demon Lord were rare, quality items. While Beidou Demon Lord had a tall and sturdy frame, he was a complete foodie. Otherwise, he would not travel all the way to the frozen areas just for a few bunches of frozen bananas. Beidou Demon Lord was delighted by this pile of precious fruits. It should be known that he had only heard a few things about the items here and never truly tasted them before. "I have never seen this dragon peach before. If my clan members knew I could eat the dragon peach, they would all be shocked." Beidou Demon Lord had a face of excitement as he held a peach that was about the size of his palm. Of course, he would not forget to share such a good item with Yi Qingtang. He selected an extremely nice-looking dragon peach and placed it in front of Yi Qingtang. The corner of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched slightly as she looked at the dragon peach that was even larger than her body. This peach could last her for a year. The little white tiger laid beside Yi Qingtang lazily. As it watched Beidou Demon Lord eat heartily, it nonchalantly played with its beard while its paw quietly tossed a peach into its mouth. Just as the three of them were eating joyfully, a rather piercing voice suddenly traveled into their ears. "Who is that damn person? How dare she wreak chaos in the Jiang family?" The person who spoke was a tall and good-looking youth who was followed by a few other similar-aged people, including Yi Sun. "So you are Yi Qingtang?" After shooting a look of disgust at Beidou Demon Lord, the youth in the lead looked at Yi Qingtang condescendingly and sized her up without any respect. "You are the uneducated and wild girl who bullied my younger sister, you?" Yi Qingtang cast a look at that youth without responding to him. "I am talking to you. Are you deaf? I want you to apologize to you right now," that youth said coldly. Chapter 1439 Intolerable Bullying 2 Beidou Demon Lord's expression darkened when he heard that youth's unrelenting reprimands. Putting down his dear dragon peach, he looked at the youth coldly and said, "What younger sister, you or not? Why must my little sister apologize to anyone? What a joke. Little sister, so much for having the Jiang family bloodline in your body. You actually relegated to becoming brothers with an ape. How disgusting. It is seriously a humiliation to the Jiang family to let such a person like you crawl into the Jiang family." The youth in the lead scoffed and immediately looked at the people behind him. "Since someone is so shameless, there's no need for us to be polite either. We should properly teach this newbie the rules of the Jiang family." The moment that youth spoke, the teenagers behind him immediately walked toward Beidou Demon Lord and Yi Qingtang. Only Yi Sun stood beside that youth in the lead with a gloating expression. "Luckily, Brother Yiming is here today. Otherwise, no one can help Sister Yu after she suffered such an injustice." The youth in the lead was Jiang Yiming, one of the grandchildren of the domain monarch. Ever since Yi Yu returned to the Jiang family, she was very close to Jiang Yiming. "Of course I have to help younger sister Yu vent her anger after she suffered such a huge injustice. There's no need for Aunt Qin to step in such small matters," Jiang Yiming said. A smile flashed across Yi Sun's face as she watched Yi Qingtang, who was encircled by the group. Failing to use Jiang Qin to get rid of Yi Qingtang yesterday remained as Yi Yu's sore point. Fortunately, Yi Qingtang's parents were not in the Jiang family, and it would be best to get rid of her at this timing. Moreover, the issue could be shirked if Jiang Yiming and the other younger generation people killed Yi Qingtang. By then, even if Jiang Lang and his wife came back, they could not say much about it. This was also what Jiang Qin wanted. Yi Qingtang's expression darkened immediately as she looked at the people encircling her. She knew that Yi Yu would definitely not let things be so easily. Especially after knowing that her parents had no regard for laws and rules, Yi Yu would definitely get rid of her before they returned. Little sister, what's with these Jiang family people? They were clearly the ones who brought you back, but now, Beidou Demon Lord could also tell that these unfriendly people clearly targeted Yi Qingtang. A tinge of coldness emerged in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Most of these people were above arcane supremacy 5th heaven, and one of them even reached the 8th heaven, which was on par with Yi Qingtang's skills. Yi Qingtang still had confidence if she fought them one-on-one, but it was clear that they were not intending to do that. Bullying the outnumbered? So this is what you all are capable of. Yi Qingtang put on a calm front as she shot Jiang Yiming a sarcastic look. There's no need for principles in dealing with people like you. You offended my younger sister Yu. Even if you are killed, you deserve it. Jiang Yiming snickered. Yi Qingtang could tell that these people were under Jiang Yiming. Seeing that they had already surrounded herself and Beidou Demon Lord and blocked an escape route, Yi Qingtang changed her mind immediately. In this case, you want to help Yi Yu to seek revenge? Of course. Jiang Yiming replied. You're just an incapable bastard to help Yi Yu seek revenge. You don't dare to come over to personally avenge Yi Yu and only dare to send them to me. But could it be that you're afraid of me? Yi Qingtang seemed to be completely fearless as she spoke with a provocative tone. Chapter 1440 Intolerable Bullying 3 Beidou Demon Lord could not help but worry for Yi Qingtang. What happened to his little sister? These people clearly wanted to kill her, but why was she provoking them instead? As expected, Jiang Yiming's expression darkened immediately upon hearing what Yi Qingtang said. Who did you say is afraid? You. Yi Qingtang raised an eyebrow fearlessly. Jiang Yiming snickered as he looked at Yi Qingtang murderously. Yi Qingtang, you're really unafraid of death. Even Yi Sun could not hide her laughter at this point. Was this Yi Qingtang a fool? She actually provoked Jiang Yiming at such a time? Among those people, the most skilled of them was merely at arcane supremacy 8th heaven, but Jiang Yiming was already in the heavenly venerate realm. Yi Qingtang actually dared to provoke Jiang Yiming now. This was clearly courting death. I'm not afraid of death. It's just unknown whether someone has the courage to fight with me, Yi Qingtang said with an arrogant laugh. Jiang Yiming's expression darkened further. He lifted his chin slightly, and those people surrounding Yi Qingtang backed down to the side immediately. Yi Qingtang, I've seen people who wanted to die but not those who really courted death like you. Since you want to challenge me one-on-one so fearlessly, I'll grant your wish then. Jiang Yiming took a step forward as he looked at Yi Qingtang murderously. Yi Qingtang glanced at the dispersed group from the corner of her eyes and secretly signaled Beidou Demon Lord behind her. Beidou Demon Lord's eyes almost popped out when he saw Yi Qingtang's hand sign. Yet Yi Qingtang put on a conceited manner and said, Heavenly Venerate. That's some skill. Since your skills exceed mine by a realm, shouldn't you go easy on me? Jiang Yiming did not expect that Yi Qingtang could say such a thing and was dumbfounded. Yi Sun chided from the side. Yi Qingtang, are you shameless? You were the one who provoked Brother Yiming, but now you still dare to ask him to go easy on you? But does a heavenly venerate not have the courage to go easy on me, an arcane supremacy 8th heaven? Or is this heavenly venerate merely just a decoration? Yi Qingtang said. Yi Sun wanted to say something more, but Jiang Yiming snickered and said suddenly, All right, I'll spare you a move. Yi Qingtang would die regardless. So what if he spared her a move? A smile flashed across Yi Qingtang's eyes when she heard Jiang Yiming. Jiang Yiming stood with his hands behind him and looked at Yi Qingtang nonchalantly. You can. Jiang Yiming intended to scorn Yi Qingtang a little more, but before he could finish his sentence, Yi Qingtang suddenly sent a flying kick at Jiang Yiming's crotch heavily without any warning. Yi Qingtang's kick was too sudden and launched with all her strength. Even Jiang Yiming was not prepared for it at all. Furthermore, this kick was too damn crude. In just a moment, Jiang Yiming whined in agony and kneeled on the ground while holding his certain area. Everyone at the scene was stunned by the kick. They hurriedly rushed up to Jiang Yiming and checked on him when they saw him collapse on the ground. Yi Qingtang took this opportunity and told Beidou Demon Lord, "Sworn brother, let's go. To hell with challenging one-on-one. Even if she could defeat Jiang Yiming, given their goals, she would still be jointly attacked by everyone if she defeated him. Why would she remain here and suffer a loss?" Subsequently, she leaped up and flew away with the little white tiger in a hand. Beidou Demon Lord was not foolish either. After Yi Qingtang's reminder, he hurriedly followed after and escaped. Chapter 1441 Enemies Meet Again 1. Don't let her escape. Kill her. Jiang Yiming was pallid and sweating. He bared his teeth and bellowed with rage as he looked at the fleeing Yi Qingtang. The group immediately chased after Yi Qingtang and the Beidou Demon Lord while Yi Sun supported Jiang Yiming, who was in such pain that he could not straighten up. Yi Qingtang and the Beidou Demon Lord fled at top speed, but Jiang Yiming's men were extremely able and managed to dog them closely. Coupled with the fact that they were more familiar with the Jiang house, the distance between them and Yi Qingtang gradually narrowed. Yi Qingtang swiftly glanced about, looking for an escape route. Just as Yi Qingtang and the Beidou Demon Lord were looking for an escape route, Jiang Lu, who had been speaking to an elder in the front yard, noticed that something was amiss with Yi Qingtang. "Tang Tang, what's going on?" Jiang Lu blocked Yi Qingtang's way. The elder standing next to Jiang Lu looked at Yi Qingtang sternly. "She's Yi Qingtang?" The old man asked grimly. "Yes, Elder Meng, she is Yi Qingtang." Jiang Lu replied. Elder Meng sized Yi Qingtang up with sharp eyes. Yi Qingtang wanted to continue fleeing, but Jiang Lu blocked her way. However, Yi Qingtang calmed down when she saw Jiang Lu. No matter how arrogant that brat Jiang Yiming was, he could not possibly do anything to her in front of Jiang Lu, right? Jiang Yiming and the others, who were following closely behind, flew towards them when they saw that Yi Qingtang had stopped. "You despicable person, do you think you can escape?" Jiang Lu was surprised to suddenly see a group of youths from the Jiang family chasing Yi Qingtang. "How dare you? What are you doing?" Jiang Lu looked displeased when he spoke. When the group of youths saw Jiang Lu and Elder Meng, they immediately quietened down. "Third uncle, don't let that despicable person escape." Jiang Yiming hobbled over, supported by Yi Sun. His handsome face was ashen, and large drops of sweat clung to his cheeks. Jiang Lu wanted to reprimand Jiang Yiming for spouting nonsense but was taken aback by his haggard appearance. "Yiming, what happened to you?" Jiang Yiming gritted his teeth and glared at Yi Qingtang, who was standing behind Jiang Lu. "It's all her fault." Jiang Lu was bewildered. Jiang Yiming was his elder brother's child, and they had always been close. Yi Qingtang had just returned to the Jiang family yesterday, so why were the two at loggerheads? Yi Sun, who was standing nearby, took it all in and said, "Third uncle, Yi Qingtang went berserk just now and suddenly struck elder brother Ming with an underhanded blow. That's why we're chasing her." Jiang Lu was shocked to hear this. He involuntarily glanced at Yi Qingtang and Jiang Yiming. Yi Qingtang injured Jiang Yiming? How can that be possible? Jiang Lu was well aware of Jiang Yiming's abilities. Yi Qingtang could not possibly hurt him. However, at that moment, Jiang Yiming's ashen face and his slightly arched back showed what poor state he was in. Also, Yi Qingtang had been fleeing, so there must be something to it. Before Jiang Lu could get to the bottom of the matter, Elder Meng, who was standing nearby, suddenly gave a cold laugh. "Disobedient creature. You've only just returned to the Jiang family, but you're so wild that you dared to strike a fellow brother. This one is definitely a bad apple." Chapter 1442 Enemies Meet Again. Yi Qingtang's eyes involuntarily turned to Elder Meng when she heard this extremely unkind remark. But this elder was unfamiliar. Yi Qingtang had never seen him before. He was clearly someone unrelated to her, So why was he so hostile towards her? Perhaps it had something to do with Yu? Jiang Liu's expression grew strange. Elder Meng, the children are just fussing. There's no need to. The kindly old man, Jiang Lu, wanted to make light of the matter, but Elder Meng laughed coldly. As the elder of the Jiang family's Hall of Justice, I will deal with anyone who breaks the family rules. Yi Qingtang has broken the family rules by striking a member of the clan. Of course, she must be severely punished. Elder Meng narrowed his eyes and spoke coldly. Jiang Yiming and the others secretly sniggered when they heard Elder Meng's words. Yi Qingtang was just too unlucky. Of all the people she could have met, she had run into Elder Meng. Elder Meng was one of the elders who upheld the family rules in the Jiang family. He was harsh and severe and would not show mercy to anyone who broke the family rules. Also, there was an old grudge between Elder Meng and Yi Qingtang's parents, Jiang Lang and his wife. Yi Qingtang would probably die a terrible death this time. That year, Elder Meng was in charge of the Hall of Justice, and Jiang Lang and his wife were members of the Jiang family. However, they had flouted the laws, performing evil deeds everywhere. Elder Meng could not stand it and had tried to interfere several times. This caused Jiang Liang and his wife to dislike him. Once, Elder Meng ordered his son to forcibly drag Jiang Liang away to be punished. Jiang Lang had suddenly lost his temper and broken free of his bonds. He then beat Elder Meng's son to death and left the Jiang family with his wife in tow. From that day on, Elder Meng had hated Jiang Lang and his wife for killing his son. Now, Jiang Lang and his wife's daughter had fallen into Elder Meng's hand. Nothing good would come of this. Elder Meng is right. Elder Meng is the most just in the Jiang family. This Yi Qingtang has broken the family laws and injured our brother Yiming. She should be severely punished. That's right. This Yi Qingtang has been misbehaving ever since she returned to the Jiang family. If she is not severely disciplined, won't she cause chaos in the future? The group of youths all chipped in, hoping that Elder Meng would kill Yi Qingtang with one blow. Yi Qingtang did not know why Elder Meng was against her, but she was not stupid. She saw that things had gone awry and wanted to flee with the Beidou demon lord at the first opportunity. But Elder Meng would not give Yi Qingtang a chance to escape. He blocked her way and said with his eyes narrowed, "You are not allowed to go anywhere before you have been punished." Yi Qingtang smiled. "Punished? I haven't done anything wrong, why should I be punished? You are unreasonable. Did you cause Jiang Yiming's injury?" Elder Meng asked coldly. "I did, but Yi Qingtang was about to explain, but Elder Meng interrupted her. "Since you have admitted it, there is no need to go on. Based on the Jiang family's rules, you will receive 30 strokes of the rod. Since you have just entered the Jiang family and are unfamiliar with the family etiquette, you are in greater need of discipline. Your punishment will be more severe, and you must receive 60 strokes of the rod." Elder Meng did not get to the bottom of the matter and just announced Yi Qingtang's punishment. The rod that the Jiang family used was unusual in that it was made of meteoric iron. Also, the person wielding it was very severe. Just 10 strokes would be sufficient to reduce someone's flesh to pulp, not to mention 60 strokes. Elder Meng was clearly using this opportunity to vent his anger and had increased the severity of her punishment by several times. Chapter 1443 Enemies Meet Again 3 If she really received all 60 strokes of the rod, Yi Qingtang would be half dead even if she survived. Jiang Yiming and the others, who knew how severe punishment by the rod in the Jiang family was, all laughed. This Elder Meng's punishment was even more vicious than theirs. Let's see how Yi Qingtang gets out of it. Jiang Lu was shocked to hear the punishment. Elder Meng, Tang Tang is still young and a girl. How can you? Since she is a member of the Jiang family, she must abide by the Jiang family rules. Elder Meng was unmoved. Yi Qingtang could see that Elder Meng was set on killing her. He had not gotten to the bottom of the matter before judging. He was clearly using the opportunity to vent his anger. Even if she told the truth, Elder Meng probably would not show any mercy. But Jiang Lu still wanted to dissuade him. Jiang Yiming, who was standing nearby, said, "Third uncle, Am I not also your junior, like Yi Qingtang? Jiang Lu gaped. He looked at his dear nephew's ashen face but felt conflicted when he thought of Elder Meng's judgment. Although he wanted to protect Yi Qingtang, in the end, Jiang Yiming was still closer to him. Yi Qingtang completely lost hope when she looked at the silent Jiang Lu. Even within family members, there were different degrees of intimacy. Even though she was now a child of the Jiang family, she could not compare to Jiang Yiming and the other Jiang family disciples, who had grown up by Jiang Liu's side. You are going too far. What has my little sister done wrong that you want to punish her? They clearly started the trouble, yet how can you forbid my little sister from retaliating? This is the clan of the domain monarch, but all of you have ganged up to bully my little sister. What's the point of remaining in a family like that? Little sister, let's go. The Beidou demon lord could not figure out the intricacies of these human interactions. He only knew that ever since they had arrived in the Jiang family, few had been good to Yi Qingtang. All of them wanted his little sister dead. What was the point in remaining in a place like this? You're a mere demon. Who are you to speak here? Elder Meng swept a cold look at the Beidou demon lord. He was suddenly surrounded by an imposing aura, which caused the Beidou demon lord's big frame to shudder. As a member of the Jiang family, she cannot leave until she has been punished for her misdeeds. Elder Meng turned to look at Yi Qingtang. Then his eyes narrowed. Yi Qingtang has broken the family rules again and again. She must be punished immediately. Men, bring the rod. A few servants immediately brought out the 2-meter-long meteoric iron rod. Elder Meng personally took the rod and ordered men to hold Yi Qingtang down to receive her punishment. He would conduct this punishment personally. Yi Qingtang narrowed her eyes. She watched the men walk towards her and reach out to pin her down. A gleam of cold light flashed across her eyes. She secretly summoned up her strength, ready to escape. But the moment those men reached out for her, 2 streaks of cold light suddenly flew out from behind Yi Qingtang, heading straight for the 2 servants. The next instant, the 2 streaks of cold light had pierced the 2 servants' brows. They collapsed backward before they could react. There were 2 thumps. The moment they fell, huge gushes of blood sprayed out from the red speck on their brow. I would like to see who dares to punish my Moe's daughter. A cold voice suddenly rang out from behind Yi Qingtang. The moment this voice rang out, everyone's eyes turned to look behind Yi Qingtang. Chapter 1444 Mother 1 They saw a slender woman in a long, light green robe slowly walking through the doorway of the Jiang house. She had a graceful beauty but was unusually pale, which made her exquisite features seem especially prominent. Her long black hair was worn casually behind her back. As she walked, a few strands gently brushed against her cheeks. Behind her, she was flanked by 2 tall women wearing demon fox masks. One of them carried a long bow. The 2 flashes of cold light that had shot the 2 servants had come from this bow. Everyone in the front yard was shocked by what they saw. Yi Qingtang turned around and saw a delicate-looking beauty who was almost swaying in the wind. A look of surprise flashed across her eyes. Moe was the name of Jiang Lang's wife and her so-called mother. At that moment, Elder Meng was looking grim. His eyes were filled with unquenchable hatred as he looked at Moe, who was slowly entering the house. Moe, aren't you ashamed to come back? Elder Meng secretly clenched his fists, which were hanging by his side. Jiang Lang had killed his son because of Moe. Moe's gentle beauty made her appear to be fragile and delicate. No one was able to reconcile the delicate-looking beauty before them with the legendary evil demon who killed so wantonly. Even Yi Qingtang had not expected Moe, who had burned an entire city of people in her youth, to appear so harmless and sickly. Cough. Ivy raised her hand slightly and covered her lips as she coughed softly. Her already pale face now appeared even frilier. Her eyes were half-closed in feebleness. When she glanced at Elder Meng's vicious expression, her lips curved in casual amusement. Elder Meng, are you becoming senile in your old age? I can return to the Jiang house whenever I like. It is not for you to decide. Elder Meng was so angry he was about to say something, But Moe could not even be bothered to give him a second glance. Her half-hooded eyes now fell on Yi Qingtang. I've come back today only for the sake of my daughter. If Elder Su had not informed me that my daughter had been found, do you think I would enjoy returning to the Jiang family? As she spoke, Moe flicked her hand. With a wave of her sleeve, the aura oppressing Yi Qingtang and the Beidou demon lord was instantly shattered. Come here. Moe gestured at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang looked at her mother, who looked as though she would faint at any moment. Her emotions were in turmoil. Was this the woman who, according to legends, was like an evil demon? Why was she completely different from what she had imagined? Yi Qingtang's heart was filled with uncertainty, but her feet turned obediently and walked towards Moe. Moe sized up Yi Qingtang, and a smile grew on her lips. I've said before that my daughter would be a stunning beauty. Her tone was doting. Yi Qingtang secretly heaved a sigh of relief at Moe's reaction. Ever since she found out that her parents were Jiang Lang and his wife, Yi Qingtang had been frightened. This couple was notorious and had even killed members of the Jiang family. Who knew whether they had any feelings towards their own flesh and blood? She was now a member of the Jiang family but had no support from her parents. She would be at a disadvantage as Yi Yu pursued her, but now it looked like she had been overly concerned. Chapter 1445 Mother 2, Don't worry. As long as your mother is here, no one will harm you at all. Moe lifted her hand and patted Yi Qingtang's head. A gentle smile hung on her lips. Then she raised her eyes and looked at Elder Meng and the others. The gentleness in her eyes was replaced by a piercing, murderous air. If anyone dares to hurt one hair on your head, I'll flay him. If anyone dares to bully you, I'll scrape the meat off his bones. Although Moe spoke gently, every word was ice cold. Everyone's scalp prickled. Elder Meng raised his brows. Moe, it is enough that you and Jiang Lang have disregarded the Jiang family rules. Now, your daughter has only just returned to the Jiang family and has already done something wrong. How can we let her off? What has my daughter done wrong? Moe raised her brows slightly. Elder Meng glanced at Jiang Yiming and the others. Only then did Jiang Yiming snap out of the trance induced by Moe's intimidating air. Jiang Yiming was still young when Jiang Lang and Moe left the Jiang family, so he had no impression of them. He had only heard Jiang family members mention them a few times. A youth standing next to Jiang Yiming advanced. He saw that Moe looked frail, and with Elder Meng to back him up, he was not afraid. He said, Yi Qingtang hit my brother Yiming for no reason. All of us witnessed it. Moe was pale as her eyes swept over the youth's face. Did you see it? That's right, said the youth. Which of your eyes saw it? Moe asked indifferently. Of course both eyes saw it. Before the youth could finish speaking, Moe's figure flashed by as she dug out the youth's eyes. Then, in a flash, she returned to her original spot, but her pale and slender fingers held a pair of eyeballs that were dripping with blood. How can someone with no eyes see? Moe lifted her chin slightly. She squeezed her fingers together and squashed the eyeballs. The thick scent of blood immediately spread through the front courtyard. No one expected Moe to suddenly strike and dig out the youth's eyeballs. Even Yi Qingtang, who was watching from the sidelines, was dumbfounded. Now, she really believed that this frail-looking Moe was really the vicious demon in legends. True, one cannot judge a book by its cover. Moe, how dare you injure someone? Elder Meng glared at her. Jiang Lu, who had not even managed to greet Moe, was shocked. Injure someone? Did anyone's eyes see me injure someone? Moe blandly glanced at everyone present. Jiang Yiming and the other youths who had been so aggressive were now shocked into silence when they saw Moe dig out their companion's eyes. All of them shivered uncontrollably. Who would dare to say they had seen it? If they said so, wouldn't their eyeballs be dug out too? Seems like no one saw it. Elder Meng, you must be getting old, and your eyesight is failing. Why would I injure someone for no reason? Moe laughed softly. As everyone stared, She calmly took out a handkerchief and slowly wiped the stains off her hands. Elder Meng's expression grew even grimmer. "Moe, don't you use these tactics to intimidate the youths of my Jiang family. I may be old, but I can still see clearly. You have turned a blind eye to your daughter's violence and severely injured a Jiang family member. You are impudent." "Impudent?" Moe casually tossed the blood-stained handkerchief aside. Her eyes suddenly grew sharp. Chapter 1446 Mother 3. So what if I am impudent? Putting aside the matter of whether my daughter really broke the family rules, even if she did, I would like to see who dares to touch a hair on her head while I am present. Moe's half-hooded eyes swept across everyone present. Her arrogance was intimidating. "You!" Elder Meng's face darkened, and the spirit energy around him suddenly started to ripple. Jiang Lu, who was standing nearby, saw that Elder Meng and Moe were about to fight. He advanced and said, "Second sister-in-law, Tang Tang was really in the wrong in this matter. Tang Tang has just returned to the Jiang family." "Second sister-in-law, surely you do not wish Tang Tang to suffer in the Jiang family in the future? What a joke! How can my daughter remain in the Jiang family?" Moe laughed coldly. Jiang Liu's head started to ache. He really could not deal with his second brother and sister-in-law. "Second sister-in-law, this was just a joke among the children, and there is no need to take it too seriously. Elder Meng only spoke in a fit of anger just now. Tang Tang only needs to apologize, and the matter will be resolved. It's rare for you to pay a visit to the Jiang family. There is no need to do this. Tell me, who did Tang Tang injure?" Moe suddenly asked. Jiang Lu said, "She injured our elder brother's son Yiming." As he spoke, Jiang Lu pointed at Jiang Yiming, who was still pale. Moe glanced at Jiang Yiming. When Jiang Yiming's gaze met Moe's eyes, he subconsciously shrank back. Moe curled her lip mockingly. "Third brother, do you think I'm stupid? This fellow is already in the heavenly venerate realm, but my daughter is just in the 8th heaven of the arcane supremacy realm. Even an idiot could tell who would win when oppressed by someone nearly a realm apart." Jiang Lu had also thought that this matter was unbelievable, but Jiang Yiming's haggard look was certainly not put on. Just now, Elder Meng had not questioned them closely before pronouncing judgment, so he did not know what had actually happened. Jiang Lu asked, "Tell us what happened just now." The youths who had been so aggressive were all terrified by Moe's intimidating stance. Jiang Yiming subconsciously glanced at Yi Sun, and Yi Sun knew that Jiang Yiming wanted her to speak, so she braced himself and spoke. "We were going to visit elder sister Yu together, but on the way, we met Yi Qingtang. It was the first time brother Yiming and the others were meeting Yi Qingtang, so they wanted to greet her. But she not only did not appreciate our kindness, but she even mocked us. Brother Yiming and the others tried to reason with her, but she suddenly struck him." When Jiang Lu heard that, he looked at Moe. He was just about to say something when Yi Qingtang, who had been silent all this while, suddenly spoke. "Third uncle, why don't you ask me what happened just now?" Jiang Lu was taken aback. He had subconsciously chosen to believe Jiang Yiming and the others, so he had deliberately overlooked Yi Qingtang. Moe laughed softly. "Tang Tang, you tell us." Yi Qingtang nodded. "Yi Sun, you stay in the East Garden, as does Yi Yu. You said that you met me along the way, but I stay in the West Garden. Since you were looking for Yi Yu, why were you passing by my place?" The statement from Yi Sun and the others was full of loopholes. Yi Qingtang had not pointed them out previously because she knew that even if she did, Elder Meng and Jiang Lu would still side with Jiang Yiming and the others. No one would believe her. But now, the circumstances were different. Her mother was back. She had someone to back her up. Chapter 1447 Protecting 1-inch child. Yi Sun opened her mouth to explain, but Yi Qingtang continued. "If third uncle does not believe me, he can send someone to look in the yard outside my room. We just left. I believe the footprints can still be seen clearly." Yi Sun wanted to accuse Yi Qingtang of lying, but Yi Qingtang's words prevented her from making his plea. Yi Sun's expression was extremely ugly. Jiang Yiming could see that things were not going well. He was about to ask a companion to go and secretly tamper with the evidence, but Moe noticed. She nodded slightly, and the serving women with the demon fox masks, who were standing behind her, immediately arose and caught hold of the youth who was planning to sneak away and destroy the evidence. "Third brother, hadn't you better send someone to take a look?" Moe said with a soft laugh. Jiang Liu's expression darkened. He had no choice but to send someone to investigate. Just as Yi Qingtang had said, Jiang Yiming and the others had left hurriedly, thinking only of capturing Yi Qingtang. As a result, they had left a large patch of messy footprints in the yard, outside Yi Qingtang's door. And they ascertained that these footprints belonged to Jiang Yiming and the others. This proved that the excuse of meeting her on the way was false. Jiang Yiming and the others' expressions grew ugly. "It's true we were looking for younger sister Yue, but we recalled that the flowers in the West Garden flower beds were blooming nicely, so we went to pick some to give to her. That's all." Jiang Yiming had a quick mind and found an excuse. "That's right. We didn't say we met her on a direct route there." Another youth came forward to corroborate. But at that moment, Jiang Lu and the others looked even grimmer. "The flower beds were moved from the West Garden to the East Garden long ago," Jiang Lu said frostily. Jiang Yiming was startled. Only then did he recall this, and his expression grew ugly. The other youths turned pale. Their clumsy excuses had been exposed. Now, their reason for appearing outside Yi Qingtang's room grew increasingly evident. A group of people like that had run over to Yi Qingtang's room en masse, and blows were exchanged. Anyone could see that they had been targeting Yi Qingtang and that it was no coincidence. Jiang Yiming gritted his teeth. "We heard that someone new has arrived in the Jiang house, so what's wrong with going over to take a look? You clearly injured someone. The injuries on my body are proof." Elder Meng, who was standing nearby, nodded. "No matter how you encountered each other, Yiming was definitely injured by you. This cannot be faked." She had seen shameless people before, but not someone as shameless as this. Jiang Yiming and the others said that she had deliberately provoked them and created trouble. Now, it had been proven that they were the first to provoke her, but they changed the pretext to this. "Elder Meng, why don't you ask how I injured him?" Yi Qingtang laughed coldly. Elder Meng frowned slightly. Yi Qingtang continued. "So many of them came looking for me. How capable do you think I am that I can injure someone in the Heavenly Venerate realm in front of a bunch of people in the Arcane Supremacy realm? Or perhaps, Yi Qingtang's gaze swept over everyone present. They are really blind?" Elder Meng's face grew grimmer. There was something strange about all this, but he had chosen to overlook it. "We did not expect you to suddenly attack. That's why you managed to succeed." Jiang Yiming immediately spoke up. Since there was no proof, Yi Qingtang would be unable to disclaim responsibility. Chapter 1448 Protecting One Incest Child 2, Suddenly Attacked? Jiang Yiming, you're so glib. You ordered men to capture my sworn brother and me, and when I argued with you, you decided to challenge me to a one-on-one fight. Why won't you own up now? Asked Yi Qingtang. Who challenged you to a one-on-one fight? Jiang Yiming flatly denied it. Anyway, besides the Beidou demon lord, everyone else present was on his side, and no one would bear witness on Yi Qingtang's behalf. Do you have proof? Don't talk nonsense. That's right, Brother Yiming never challenged you to a one-on-one fight. This is clearly just an excuse. The youths seized upon this point and shouted vigorously. Who says I have no proof? The Beidou demon lord, who had been silent all this while, suddenly spoke. You have proof? If you have proof, then show it to us. Jiang Yiming said nonchalantly. The Beidou demon lord was enraged by this group of people. He had watched them repeatedly bully Yi Qingtang, and his blood was boiling. He took a crystal-clear pearl from the thick fur growing on his chest. Elder Meng and the others were taken aback when he took out this pearl. Memory pearl? Jiang Lu looked in astonishment at the pearl that the Beidou demon lord was holding. The memory pearl could record recent events but only for a limited time. Also, If it was not activated, its records would be erased as time passed. Earlier scenes that had been recorded would be quickly replaced with new scenes. But the memory pearl would be destroyed once it was activated. The memory pearl could only be used once. A trace of amusement flashed across Yi Qingtang's eyes when she saw the memory pearl in the Beidou Demon Lord's hand. In her previous life, she had already learned that her sworn brother carried this memory pearl on his person. The Beidou Demon Lord had obtained this memory pearl by chance when he was young and always carried it with him. However, this object was not very useful, so the Beidou Demon Lord had not used it in his previous life. Yi Qingtang had dared to oppose Jiang Yiming and the others because she knew that the Beidou Demon Lord had this treasure on his person. Memory pearl? What's that? The memory pearl was rather useless, so it was natural that Jiang Yiming and the others had never seen it. The Beidou Demon Lord laughed coldly and said, "Didn't you want proof? Let me show you the proof." The moment he finished speaking, the Beidou Demon Lord abruptly crushed the memory pearl. The moment the memory pearl was crushed, the scenes it had recorded immediately unfurled before their eyes. The first scene was of the Beidou Demon Lord and Yi Qingtang, sitting on the ground and enjoying a good meal. But before long, Jiang Yiming and the others rushed over aggressively. The memory pearl not only recorded these scenes, but it even clearly recorded the voices. Everyone present could now clearly hear the taunts and challenges issued by Jiang Yiming and the others. Even the challenge he issued to Yi Qingtang for a one-on-one fight could be clearly heard. Jiang Yiming's face instantly turned pale. He had not imagined that this lowly demon would possess such a strange Dharma treasure. The true scenes and the clear voices tore Jiang Yiming's lies apart. All of you can now see clearly that it was these people who bullied my younger sister. He is also the one who agreed to a one-on-one fight with my little sister. My little sister has not uttered a single lie. The Beidou Demon Lord did not regret the loss of the memory pearl in the least. He was even willing to give up his life as long as he could prove Yi Qingtang's innocence. Chapter 1449 Protecting One Incest Child 3 The expression of everyone present flickered. Jiang Yiming and the others bowed their heads silently. They looked embarrassed and anxious. Jiang Lu had not expected the truth to be like that. Jiang Yiming and the others had really deliberately provoked Yi Qingtang and tried to make trouble for her. But he had fully believed Jiang Yiming and repeatedly asked Yi Qingtang to apologize to him. Even though he was biased, Jiang Lu could not help but feel embarrassed. Is this how the Jiang family does things? My daughter has just returned to the Jiang family, and you bully her like that. Moe laughed in rage. A cold light shone in her eyes. They could tell from the scenes conjured by the memory pearl that if Yi Qingtang had not been alert and resourceful, she would have been killed by their combined attack. Moe, after all, Yi Qingtang was not injured. Jiang Yiming and the others may have overstepped the boundaries a little, but it is true that Yi Qingtang suddenly attacked and injured someone. According to our family rules, she should still be punished. Elder Meng did not change tack even after he saw everything. In the scenes just now, Yi Qingtang really attacked someone suddenly and injured him, just as Jiang Yiming and the others said. Is there anything wrong with that? Yi Qingtang was impressed by how he could take things out of context. This Elder Meng really hated her. Elder Meng, what have I done wrong? Jiang Yiming volunteered to fight me one-on-one. What's the matter? Am I not allowed to fight? Yi Qingtang laughed coldly. Although it was a one-on-one fight, you attacked before the match started. You were not abiding by the rules. Elder Meng doggedly held on to this point and refused to let go. Yi Qingtang suddenly laughed loudly. Elder Meng, are you deaf? Just now, the memory pearl clearly recorded that Jiang Yiming volunteered to let me go first, so of course, I struck the first blow. I only did so with his agreement. Who knew that he could still spout so much nonsense? Yi Qingtang's argument was watertight. Elder Meng's expression immediately darkened. The truth was that Jiang Yiming had agreed to let her go first before she attacked. Based on this reasoning, Yi Qingtang's sudden strike was not a covert attack but the start of the match. Jiang Yiming had no grounds for complaint after he was kicked. Elder Meng had repeatedly insisted on her guilt, but Yi Qingtang had easily refuted him. Now, his expression turned ugly. Jiang Yiming was angry and annoyed. He had not expected Yi Qingtang to be so cunning. Moe suddenly laughed at the scene before her. "You are truly worthy to be my daughter. You're not so easily bullied." Moe looked at Yi Qingtang dotingly. Even if Yi Qingtang was in the wrong, Moe would not allow her to be harmed, much less if she was in the right. With that, she looked up, and her gaze swept across everyone present. Her look was wintry and merciless. "We have clearly established what happened today. In the future, if anyone dares to use this matter to make things difficult for Tang Tang, I will reduce them to ashes." Jiang Yiming and the others were so frightened by Moe's gaze that they started to quiver all over. Her words were clearly a warning to them. Tang Tang was clearly the victim here. They bullied her. Based on the Jiang family rules, they should be punished. Moe's half-hooded eyes looked straight at Elder Meng, who kept trying to pronounce Yi Qingtang's guilt. They had bullied her daughter. How could they be let off so easily? "She's not injured at all. What did we do wrong?" Jiang Yiming immediately protested when he heard that he was to be punished. Moe laughed coldly. Elder Meng said solemnly, "She brought it on herself because of her bad character. Yi Qingtang must have conducted herself improperly, as they would not have provoked her for no reason. Ultimately, she is the one who caused all this trouble after she entered the Jiang family, so she is still at fault." Chapter 1450 Protecting 1-inch Child 4. Elder Meng, do you really think I'm afraid of you? Moe looked at Elder Meng, and her lips curved in a chilly smile. "Before you falsely accuse Tang Tang, why don't you ask her mother if she will permit it?" As Moe finished speaking, the two demon fox servants behind her stepped forward. One held a bow and the other a sword. Both looked murderous. "Moe, do you still dare to do as you please within the Jiang family's territory?" Elder Meng shouted coldly. "This is not the first time I've done as I please here. What's one time more or less?" Moe replied frostily. Jiang Lu saw that Moe and Elder Meng were about to fight and immediately stepped forward to mediate. But at that moment Yi Qingtang said, "Elder Meng, are you saying I conducted myself improperly?" "Of course. Why else would they provoke you and not someone else?" Elder Meng spoke with certainty. Yi Qingtang laughed softly. When they arrived, they made it clear that they were avenging Yi Yu. "Elder Meng, have you forgotten their words?" Elder Meng frowned. "You say I brought it on myself because of my bad character, but what have I done wrong? Yi Yu took my spirit root, and now she turns around and puts the blame on me, urging these people to teach me a lesson. Do they really think I'm so easily bullied because I'm an orphan? Now, my mother is back, and you're still trying to falsely accuse me?" Yi Qingtang laughed coldly. "Tang Tang, what are you saying?" Moe was startled. Yi Qingtang looked at Moe and told her how Yi Yu had stolen her spirit root. A look of shock flashed across Moe's pale face, and her eyes were filled with tenderness. After Moe gave birth, her enemies took her child away before she even set eyes on it. For years, Moe had not mentioned it but had secretly sent men to search for her daughter. Now, she was naturally delighted to finally meet Yi Qingtang. But she would never have expected that her daughter's spirit root had been forcibly dug out of her. "Good, very good." "Ha!" Moe suddenly chuckled. She lowered her eyes, but her laughter sent cold chills down their spines. Elder Meng's expression froze. Of course, he did not know that Yi Yu had stolen Yi Qingtang's spirit root. But even if it was true, why did it matter? The next moment, Moe suddenly looked up. She abruptly raised her slender arm, and a white ray of light shot from her palm and blasted towards Jiang Yiming. No one expected that Moe, who was still chuckling, would suddenly attack. She struck so suddenly that Elder Meng and Jiang Lu did not have time to react. The next moment, Jiang Yiming was hit by the white light. He flew like a kite with a broken string and crashed heavily into a stone pillar. A large mouthful of blood spurted from his mouth. "You are not to belittle my daughter. If the Jiang family will not protect her, her mother will protect her myself." I will not show mercy to anyone who bullied her. Moe's arrogant air grew, and her limpid eyes filled with murderous intent. Jiang Lu hurried over to Jiang Yiming's injuries to check on his injuries. Moe reached out and grabbed Yi Qingtang's wrist. She leaped upwards and flew towards the Jiang family's backyard. Tang Tang, don't be afraid. Mother will dig your spirit root out of that despicable person's body and return it to you. With your mother here, no one will bully you anymore. Chapter 1451 Protecting One Incest Child 5 The two demon fox servants and the Beidou demon lord immediately followed. Oh no, Emmy has gone to look for Yi Yu. Jiang Lu was shocked and realized that things were going badly. Elder Meng immediately gave chase, leaving behind the severely wounded Jiang Yiming and the terrified youths. In the courtyard of the Eastern Garden, a pale-looking Yi Yu was strolling through the courtyard in the company of Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin looked tenderly at Yi Yu's pale little face. She knew what Yi Yu was thinking, so Jiang Qin spoke. You, don't worry about it anymore. I've already asked Yiming to teach that little bitch a lesson. Who is she that you should worry about her like that? I can't bear to see you looking like this. Yi Yu giggled inwardly when she heard Jiang Qin's words. She knew that Jiang Qin was childless and so doted on Yi Yu. For the past 2 days, she had deliberately pretended to be depressed and listless in front of Jiang Qin. Aunt Qin, I don't want my problems to give you trouble. In the matter involving Yi Qingtang, my grandfather was in the wrong. I understand why she hates me. I just don't want to disrupt the peace in the Jiang family. Yi Yu pretended to be sensible. How was your grandfather in the wrong? How can that little bitch compare to you? It is an honor for her to have her spirit root residing in your body. The two of you are as disparate as clouds and mud. Jiang Qin despised Yi Qingtang. Also, Yi Qingtang's appearance had caused Yi Yu so much grief that she hated Yi Qingtang even more. Aunt Qin, you're so good to me. Yi Yu gave Jiang Qin a grateful look. Jiang Qin's lips curved in a hint of a smile. She patted Yi Yu's head and said, Silly child, by the time this matter is resolved, your grandfather should have come out of seclusion. Then, he will certainly select a better set of cultivation techniques for you. You only need to focus and build a firm foundation. There is no need to waste your energy on such worthless people. Yi Yu smiled smugly. So what if Yi Qingtang crawled into the Jiang family? She was all alone with no one to back her up. How could she be a match for Yi Yu? As the two of them were talking, Jiang Qin suddenly sensed a piercing aura floating through the air towards them. The next moment, Moe appeared before them with Yi Qingtang in tow. A look of shock flashed across Yi Yu's eyes when she saw Yi Qingtang. Jiang Qin said she had ordered Jiang Yiming to bring some men to teach Yi Qingtang a lesson. Yi Yu knew of Jiang Qin's ability and thought that Yi Qingtang would suffer terribly. But she had not expected Yi Qingtang to appear before her eyes, completely unharmed. Also, a frail-looking but exquisitely beautiful woman stood next to Yi Qingtang. Yi Yu had not seen this woman before. Although Yi Yu had never seen her before, Jiang Qin recognized her at a glance. Moe. Jiang Qin frowned as she looked at Moe, who had appeared with Yi Qingtang. Yi was shocked by Jiang Qin's words. Moe? Isn't that the name of Jiang Lang's wife? Yi Yu subconsciously widened her eyes and stared at Moe. Why has Moe suddenly returned? Wasn't it said that this couple was eccentric and vicious? Yi Yu had assumed that Jiang Lang and his wife would not care about their relatives and had not expected Moe to return. Is she Yi Yu? Moe did not even bother to look at Jiang Qin. At that moment, she was intent on disemboweling Yi Yu, who had snatched her daughter's spirit root. Chapter 1452 Protecting One Incest Child 6 Yi Qingtang glanced at Yi Yu and nodded. A cold smile surfaced on Moe's pale face. Her half-hooded eyes passed over Yi Yu. As Moe's gaze passed over Yi Yu, she felt as if a poisonous serpent was crawling over her. She shuddered and involuntarily ducked behind Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin had naturally noticed Moe's hostility. She advanced and hid Yi Yu behind her. Moe, why are you here? Jiang Qin, you should at least call me second sister-in-law. Moe raised her chin slightly and glanced coldly at Jiang Qin. Then she said frostily, but right now, you'd better get lost. Aunt Qin, Yi was no fool. She clearly sensed Moe's murderous intent that was directed at her. She frantically held on to Jiang Qin's sleeve. Jiang Qin frowned. When she saw Moe and Yi Qingtang appear together, she knew that things had gone awry. Her brother and his wife were unpredictable by nature. She wanted to get rid of Yi Qingtang before they returned but could not be certain of what they thought. But now, Moe was back, and her attitude was unmistakable. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Jiang Qin consoled her. With that, Jiang Qin stepped forward and looked at Moe icily. Moe, this is the Jiang family. You are not allowed to just do whatever you like. Moe covered her lips and smiled. All of you are so funny. You know I'm used to doing whatever I like, but you're still carping at me. Jiang Qin, since you are Jiang Lang's younger sister, I won't quibble with you. You just get lost. Today, I will make this Yi return my daughter's spirit root. When Jiang Qin heard that, her expression grew grim, and she tightened her defense around Yi. Dream on. This spirit root has long belonged to you. Then I will cut open her abdomen and dig it out with my own hands. I don't mind getting dirty. Moe's lips curled slightly as she reached out for Yi. Jiang Qin was startled and hurriedly intercepted her blow. The instant the two of them exchanged blows, there was a huge explosion as the artificial mountain in the yard blew up. Yi Qingtang was shocked as she watched Jiang Qin and Moe fight. Jiang Qin was extremely powerful. She only had to exert a little force, and Yi Qingtang would be rendered motionless. But Moe did not pale in comparison. As she exchanged blows with Jiang Qin, she slowly gained the upper hand. In a moment, Moe and Jiang Qin were embroiled in a fight. The two serving women and the Beidou demon lord also hurried over. Young mistress, please stand back or you might be affected. A demon fox servant blocked Yi Qingtang. The Beidou demon lord was inwardly shocked by the scene before him. He had thought that his little sister's mother was very eccentric but had not expected her to be so powerful. Little sister, your mother is so powerful. Yi Qingtang herself had not expected this. In her previous life, she had only known that Moe was notorious but had not paid attention to her abilities. The demon fox servant said, "Our mistress is the princess of the ancient dynasty. Naturally, her cultivation techniques are different from others, and her powers are superior." Yi Qingtang was slightly taken aback. The princess of the ancient dynasty? The ancient dynasty was the first dynasty to be established in central mainland 10,000 years ago. It had an illustrious history, and every member of its royal family was a top-notch cultivator. It was dominant for a time and governed the entire mainland. Even the major ancient clans had to submit to the ancient dynasty. But 10,000 years ago, the ancient dynasty had declined for some reason, and the members of its royal family gradually vanished from sight. Chapter 1453 Arrogance. 1. The demise of the ancient dynasty was a mystery to everyone in central mainland. Thousands of years ago, men might still remember some legends about the ancient dynasty, but as time passed, the name ancient dynasty became foreign to many. Even in legends, the top cultivators of the ancient dynasty were slowly forgotten. Yi Qingtang would never have thought that Moe was a princess of the ancient dynasty. Did that mean that the ancient dynasty was not completely extinct? Legend had it that the bloodline of the ancient dynasty was special and their cultivation techniques extreme. A normal person could not even have a taste of it. Yi Qingtang was unable to tell what cultivation realm Moe was in. Even now, as Moe and Jiang Qin fought, she could not see clearly. Moe's aura was turbid, and it was hard to tell what realm she was in. Although she could not tell what realm Moe was in, Moe had firmly suppressed Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin was extremely talented, and within the Jiang family, she was considered to be one of the elite members of her generation. Few could compare to her. Even so, she was no match for Moe. At that moment, Yiyu, who was standing nearby, was growing increasingly frantic. She thought that with Jiang Qin to protect her, no one in the Jiang family could touch her. She had not dreamed that Yi Qingtang's mother would have such terrifying powers. Even two Jiang Qins were no match for her. Yiyu could not help but panic. If Jiang Qin lost, wouldn't she suffer too? She subconsciously tried to flee. But her movements did not escape Moe's sharp eyes. Even as she traded blows with Jiang Qin, Moe did not overlook this girl who was responsible for stealing her daughter's spirit root. "Don't let her go," Moe said with a cold laugh. The two demon fox servants immediately flew over and attacked Yiyu. Yi Qingtang now realized that both the demon fox servants were heavenly venerates. Even Yiyu, who was at the 9th heaven of the arcane supremacy, was no match for them. Her mother's companions were truly talented people keeping a low profile. Jiang Qin saw that Yiyu was in danger and wanted to rescue her, but before she could take a single step towards Yiyu, Moe blocked her way with a flash of cold light. "Jiang Qin, where do you think you're going?" "I haven't had enough fun yet." The amused smile on Moe's lips deepened. Jiang Qin was now frantic. She wanted to disengage herself to rescue Yiyu but was unable to rid herself of Moe. Yiyu screamed with fright as she saw the two demon fox servants charging towards her. At that moment, Elder Meng suddenly flew over and raised his hands to force the two demon fox servants back. Jiang Lu, who was slightly behind him, also arrived. He was alarmed to see Moe and Jiang Qin embroiled in a fight. "Second sister-in-law, have mercy!" Jiang Lu panicked. He knew Moe's powers and knew that Jiang Qin was no match for her. Moe would not listen. Her blows grew increasingly vicious, and within a few rounds, Jiang Qin's face had been scraped in several places. Things were going badly for her. At that moment, Tuoba Yao, who had gone out, hurriedly returned. When he saw Moe suppressing Jiang Qin, he looked grim and immediately worked with Jiang Qin to force Moe back. Moe pivoted and landed next to Yi Qingtang. Her pale face remained composed. "What's the matter? Are you in a hurry to die?" You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.